Miriam Abdulkawi, and thanks for joining us for our Channel 7 Year in Review. 2025 delivered elections, agitation, and a steady stream of political and criminal intrigue. It's why we've called it Ballots, Battles, and Betrayals. Tonight, we revisit a year marked by high political drama, scandal, crime, and conspiracy, but also resilience and bright spots along the way. We start with the political battlefield of 2025. That's coming up after the break. Stay tuned.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Welcome to Mikado Textile Palace, where color and style come alive for every space in your home. From elegant fabrics to bold curtain prints, we have a selection like no other. Our friendly staff will guide you with personal, warm, and professional service to find the right color, feel, and style for your perfect match. Mikado, your #1 textile palace, 37 Albert Street. The right coloring, the right service, the right designs, the right mix for your home.
Out here, the sea is more than just water. It's memory, identity, and livelihood.
One of my most memorable catch was at the Reef Patch. It was completely covered with lobster. You couldn't even see the coral. It was completely covered with lobster. We caught about 400 or 500 pounds of lobster in one day.
These memories live in the hearts of Belize's fishers. But today, the story is changing.
If you fish one area over and over, you won't have anything. That's why today we have a big problem with fishing.
Despite increasing pressure on our oceans, fishers remain at the front lines, adapting, innovating, and calling for change.
The guys that are fishing, they know the tricks of the trade, so it's easy to hide, it's easy to get away, and it's just been happening for too many years.
Fisher stories are Belize's stories. Support fisher-led decision-making because their best catch can still lie ahead.
This year reminded us that our work is so much more than communication. It's connection. Every time we supported a school, a youth program, or a community event, we felt the heartbeat of Belize. We met students who just needed someone to believe in them, and families grateful for a supportive hand. We saw communities welcome SMART not just as a brand, but a trusted friend. For us, impact is created through service, presence, and purpose. As we move into a new year, we remain committed to empowering our communities and sharing stories that reflect how SMART strengthens the connections that matter most.
That commitment to people drives how we build our products. We focused on delivering real value and flexibility. We upgraded our postpaid plans to include social media data, keeping you connected to your favorite platforms without the extra cost. For the prepay family, we enhanced prepaid plans to ensure you get more data and benefits from every single recharge. Flex bundles now better match real-time budgets, improving affordability. We introduced affordable Mexico data bundles to keep you connected while traveling. We are listening, adapting, and ensuring you get high-value connectivity you deserve.
Great plans need a great network. Smart strengthened its promise of bringing people together by investing heavily in expansion. We added new towers in key areas, bringing a stronger signal and improved service to more communities. Customers along the coastal road in Blancano, Mountain Pine Ridge, and Cristo Rey now enjoy more consistent coverage, making Smart a reliable companion for every journey. Smart launched its fiber network in Sartineja, bringing reliable high-speed connectivity for today's digital needs.
At Smart, we strive to reflect the energy of Belize in everything we do. From celebrating 20 years of excellent service to exciting collaborations, we've shared unforgettable times. We've delighted you with our biggest giveaways and deals ever, ads you could laugh and connect to, and launched a revamped website to make your digital experience faster and more engaging.
As we look forward to the new year, we remain committed to what matters to you most: the communities we serve, the connections we build, and the precious moments we all share. All these remind us of our true identity and steadfast purpose, bringing people together.
Start earning B-Bucks today. It's really quite easy. All you have to do is make a purchase at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember, B-Bucks is as good as cash. It's free money.
Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
What? Give me this one. Yeah, give me that. Pancake, I know eat that, Pepper, take that, thank you. Jo Marie, come on, give me some cranberry, thank you. Oh no! Oh my God! Thank you. Bruh.
Wait a minute.
Big fruit.
Jules, you need back surgery.
I don't. I'm good.
You
I'm
need
good. I'm
back
good.
surgery.
I'm good. I don't. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You don't need back surgery. You need to resign.
Resign. Resign. Resign.
And there's breaking news. After a horse riding incident, Jules Vasquez decides that he needs back surgery and he's going to resign from Channel 7.
I hereby
resign. 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 Resign.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
Welcome back to Channel 7's Year in Review. We start in January, when the political anticipation of an election triggered the unions to begin their agitation. They seized on a political right moment to send a message to Belmopan, starting with the teachers.
The BNTU's Green Machine was in full effect through the streets of Belmopan this morning. Thousands of teachers from across the country boarded buses to be a part of today's protest rally. The short march started at the Sir George Brown Field, and the plan was to walk past the George Price Center, where the meeting of the House of Representatives would be held later in the morning. But when the crowd arrived in front of the center, though the meeting hadn't started yet, the teachers stopped and shouted chants of solidarity.
Solidarity! Forever! Solidarity! Forever! Teachers! That's your boss! Teachers! That's your boss! Teachers! That's your boss!
Excellent turnout. If you notice, I was not in the front because I had to reassure myself that this is what the teachers want. So I walked all the way down. I can tell you that we have over 3,000 plus teachers here today. And I haven't seen this level of support for the BNTU in years. So it is clear that their mandate is exactly what we're standing up for. Value teachers, we matter.
On Saturday morning, about 35 KHMH union members strode out of the hospital for a quick protest walk around the facility.
While we are out here, the services at Carl Lewis have not been interrupted, just to let that be clear. There is a few people who is on shift, but most of these people came from home.
They came to protest a pension issue that's been unresolved for more than a year.
What do we want? Pension! What do we want? Pension! What do we want? Pension! When do we want it? Now!
Staff members at the KHMH sacrificed their lunch breaks once again for a second round of demonstrations. Much like Saturday's protest, they paraded around the parking lot and down the sidewalks, demanding their pension. And the government is so far listening to them. According to the Workers' Union's vice president, they've got a meeting lined up.
We have had some change. The government have reached back out to us after we released our press release.
And so we did write to the Ministry of Labour yesterday to ask them to please address the issue, which they did. They called a meeting this morning at 8:30 for the authority and the union. We attended the meeting, but the union did not show up. Nevertheless, we were happy to come back and see that it was a very peaceful protest and that there weren't any excesses in violations of anything at all.
Oh, let's retiree. Watch your hand. Need a pension. Watch your hand. 1 hour. Watch it. Watch your hands. Don't there? We're still there. Yep.
Both those unions were ultimately successful in their demands fulfilled, or at least partially. But that was after months of pressure. After all, they were going up against PUP Prime, which started to flex early in the year, timing their energy and output to coincide with March elections 8 months early.
And Belize is making good on its pledge to national transformation. With this sterling report card in hand, and after careful reflection and prayer, I have decided that now is the appropriate time to seek from you a renewal of our electoral mandate. Earlier, I advised the Governor General to dissolve the National Assembly today and to appoint Wednesday, March 12th, 2025 as the date for general elections.
With their places precisely marked in terms of seniority and perhaps electability, with considerations for height, gender, and party executive seniority, the 31 era reps took their places. With the precision of a set designer and the command of a stage manager, the Prime Minister's assistant Vaughn Gill shuttled across the area with the intensity of a hovering hummingbird who's had one too many Red Bulls. Another assistant made sure every button was buttoned. And after 3 minutes of this micro-study of life behind a blue curtain, PM Briceño emerged.
Good morning.
With his generals all in a row behind him, Briceño recapped the accomplishments of the last 5 years.
Things have changed dramatically, as we promised they would.
He laid out what will be the bulwarks of his party's campaign.
Belizeans are working, earning higher wages. Productivity has soared, expanding the economy. Hundreds of millions in new private sector investments have spawned development.
But the party hopes it won't be spurned by voters. And with that, the PM pulled the trigger and exposed one of the worst-kept secrets in town, that elections will be March 12th.
And while the PUP was in peak political condition, the UDP was sputtering. Beset by infighting, the party went into the general elections deeply divided with two different factions and two different leaders fielding candidates to go against each other, all permitted to use the color red. It was most prominent in Mesopotamia.
The Mesopotamia constituency has had a UDP representative since 1979, and this time they have two red options to choose from. The incumbent rep, Shine Barrow, leader of his faction of the party, will be facing off against a not-so-newcomer Lee Mark Chang. Chang is no stranger to politics, but he had stepped out of the world after his loss in Caribbean Shores in 2020. He had also previously run in Freetown, but this time he's gone home to Mesopotamia, where he spent his childhood. But does he actually want to be an area rep, or is his focus solely on ousting Barrow? In response to that criticism, he says his target is no secret.
Anybody could say what they want to say, but we have to do what we have to do to make sure that we could fix the party and make sure the country could run democratically. It will definitely keep red, but they just want to vote for another red and not the current area representative. That is the feedback that I've been getting.
And in terms of ensuring the voters know which red to mark their X next to, he says the voter education hasn't been too difficult.
We are sending out our campaign team with the sample ballots and just to go to house and making sure that people know that there's a difference between the two red. There's one that says Shine, there's one that says Lee Mark, and then the third one that says Mr. Ellis. So I believe, it's just a voter's education. We have to go to the households and show them the sample ballot, and we leave it with them, and then people will decide.
His opponent says those results will be known before the day is even half over. Barrow's campaign trail was a major juxtaposition to Chang. He flexed his political muscle with a miniature parade of supporters and his campaign song playing on loop as they marched through Mesopotamia. He told us that that's just one form of his campaign. Your style of campaigning is very unconventional.
What's that?
Your style of campaigning, walking through the streets like this, why do you choose this as opposed to door-to-door campaigning?
We do door-to-door. This is just one layer of our campaign.
What's the plan going into March 12th? When you hit the ground, what's the first thing you'll start doing?
On March 12th, the elections will be over by 10 o'clock in the morning.
Why do you say that?
Because my people are going to go to vote. This is just a snapshot of the amount of people that we have on the Shine team.
Tracy Panton's UDP and its 7 candidates brought out a few hundred, maybe 500 supporters as they marched at noon to the Civic Center. Now, that's a time slot usually reserved for independent candidates, but Panton's team was unapologetically red. The flag, the colors, and the spirit, which made up for the turnout, which, while respectable, did not overwhelm, as the PUP had just hours earlier.
We are very excited. We're grateful to be here. And we are energized, looking ready for election day. Our supporters came out, and they will come out in numbers on March 12th.
Are you concerned that, Shine, it can be argued, Shine Barrow's faction may have put up the more respectable slate because he has 30 of 31?
You're joking. You meant that as a serious question?
I do mean
I think you're being facetious, Jules. I don't think I want to answer that.
I know that you have people business persons who will always support the opposition, but right now they tell me they're splitting their money. They're giving Shine some and they're giving Tracy some. Does that affect the maximum fundraising ability of your party?
It is for the business people to make a determination who they want to support. It's their money, not mine. We have gotten solid commitments from the business community. We appreciate the contributions that we receive. We're fighting for democracy, to keep democracy alive in this country. We continue to knock on doors and to make the case for the United Democratic Party. We're not fighting each other. You know, Jules, that we have not put up candidates in constituencies where we have bona fide and legitimate UDP standard bearers, because we have no intention to undermine the UDP. And so we're working as best as we can to ensure that we have a path to 16 seats, whether they come from my fraction or whether they are standard bearers who are currently supporting the former party leader.
It is not for me to win, it is for him to lose, right? in almost every household that you go to, the first thing that come out of their mouths that they complain about the current era representatives. They disrespect. You don't know if I talk to people. You don't know if I treat people.
Are you concerned that it might just come down to who outspends who, and that in a race like that, he will outspend you?
It is what it is, and I'll do what I need to do to win the division for our UDP.
At 4 o'clock this evening, only 8 of Shine Barrow's UDP candidates made it to the Civic Center for nomination day. Melvin Hewlett and Dean Samuels from Fort George and Pickstock were no-shows, allowing Henry Charles Usher and Anthony Mahler to be declared automatic winners, a historical default victory for them. Minutes after 4, the two returned to the Civic Center to make it official. Both of them expressed that it was an unexpected phone call to receive, and the returning officer for the Fort George Division explained the regulation in the Representation of the People's Act that allowed for what took place today.
If it so happens that nobody comes from all the parties that are nominated, because on nomination day, we don't really know who all are coming to be nominated. So from my area, Mr. Henry Usher was the only person that came to get nominated. We didn't have any opposing party from anyone else. I have declared it, so now I will go to Belmopan and hand in the writ along with the Form 20.
So is this unprecedented?
Yes, this is the first time that I know of. I've worked many elections that I know of that a seat has been uncontested.
First of all,
Listen up,
we have to thank the Almighty for today.
Amen.
It's a wonderful day we are here. Anthony and I have to thank the persons who nominated us to be candidates in Pickstock and in Fort George. We have to thank our families who are joining us today to support us and to be congratulating and enjoying this victory today. Yes. But most importantly, thank you, the people, to make sure that we were nominated to show that support. And you know,
Keep the work going.
The work will continue.
And the UDP tumbled out of that election in a battered and broken state as the PUP won by historic margins, not seen since the era of self-government. Simply put, the UDP's voters turned off by their infighting and feeling they had no other option, stayed home. The PUP emerged victorious, 26-5.
My fellow Belizeans, the people have spoken. They have roared and have thundered, and I am deeply humbled by their historic decision. Today, the confidence of the Belizean electorate is based on 4.5 years of actual performance of seeing and feeling the tangible difference that the People's United Party government has meant for our beloved Belize. To be re-elected is public confirmation of trust and confidence in your government. Tonight, the celebration can be abundant, but tomorrow, the work begins anew, because Plan Belize 2.0, because Plan Belize 2.0 will require a renewed, relentless focus on policies and programs that impact the lives of our people. I pledge to do everything possible to maintain stability, to protect the gains of our first term, to safeguard against hubris, to ensure humility, and to deliver on our key manifesto promises.
It will not be easy to keep 26 representatives in check, but tonight there was that abundant celebration and even dancing. Plus, a hug for his granddaughter. On this celebratory evening, Briceño was a politician at his peak, leading his party to unprecedented, unmatched successes.
PUP! PUP! PUP. Adelante siempre.
In Corozal North, Hugo Pat got 60% of the vote, one of the highest polling UDPs. In Corozal Bay, Thea Garcia got 66%, while Elvi Vega in the yellow had the second highest number of votes, while the UDP was third. In Corozal Southeast, the PUP got 67% of the vote, another victory for Florencio Marin Jr. In Corozal Southwest, the PUP saw its smallest margin of victory in the north at 56.8%, but Ramiro Ramirez held on to beat out Martin Rivera from the UDP. Orange Walk North was another walkover for the PUP, where they got 66% of the vote. Ramon Monche Cervantes emerging victorious in that race. In Orange Walk East, it was total domination for Kevin Bernard, where he got 86.4% of the vote. That margin of victory eclipsed even the Prime Minister in Orange Walk Central, who won by a massive margin. 78% is the largest ever margin of victory for the Prime Minister, who has won this constituency 8 times. In Orange Walk South, Josemai also had an easy victory with 64% of the vote. In Belize Rural North, newcomer Marconi Leal Jr. won with a staggering 89% of the vote, destroying his UDP opponent, Eustace Shaw. In Belize Rural Central, Dolores Balderramos Garcia got 64% of the vote, easily besting her UDP opponent and 2 independent candidates, including David Almendares, who got 75 votes for Shine Barrow's UDP. In Belize Rural South, the PUP's Andre Perez got 61% of the vote, while Manuel Jr. Heredia got a surprising 34%, and the Shine Barrow UDP candidate Mahmoud Lagha got less than 2%. In Freetown, Francis Fonseca got 91% of the vote, unprecedented in this constituency, even for this now 6th-term representative. The UDP opponent got less than 200 votes. In Caribbean Shores, Karim Musa got 82% of the vote, while his 2 UDP opponents combined for less than 20%.
All eyes were on the UDP city strongholds, Albert, Collet, Mesopotamia, and Queen Square. The red candidates for the first 2 faced off against formidable PUP candidates, while the latter 2 saw UDP versus UDP. And while the opposition ended up holding on to most of their strongholds, Collet's Patrick Faber was voted out after 5 terms and 22 years. His young opponent, David Daly, was being backed by Anthony Mahler, and Faber encouraged his voters to take Mahler money, vote for Faber. Daly's team responded with a funeral for Faber, complete with a coffin that ultimately didn't withstand the ceremony. But though Faber said he'd been resurrected, this wasn't a Lazarus story, but more like a modern-day David and Goliath, with newcomer Daly throwing the stone that cinched the win. After the announcement, he could hardly be heard through the wild cheering of his team, who he says were instrumental in this win.
Hard work and the love for people of Calais. Love for people of Calais. I watch my campaigners all day. Go out and bring on the people there. And now what this mean, the people of Calais, they've been tired.
Faber then took to Facebook to concede the loss and congratulate his opponent. But while he lost this battle, his faction may have won the war since his colleague in Mesopotamia successfully unseated the incumbent and party leader. It was perhaps the most carefully watched constituency, and throughout the day, both candidates projected an air of confidence. But before the polls opened at 7, there were rumors flying that Shine Barrow would be 2 before the polls even closed.
Are you able to basically respond to reports that you may be leaving the country sometime throughout today?
Rubbish. Foolish.
They said 2 o'clock, you have a flight booked 2 o'clock.
Just come back and see me at 2 o'clock. Who's so obsessed with me?
And indeed, Barrow was there until the ballots were counted, and it was cleared he'd no longer be the leader of the opposition. And though he took the loss with some level of grace, he's still not going gentle into that good night.
I was confident. That was the interactions that I was having with the people. But they've made a decision to go in another direction, and I respect that.
So what happens now with your party?
Well, I certainly will resign effective once we have a national convention to elect a new leader. Obviously, you can't be leader of the United Democratic Party if you're not a member of the House. And I would not want to be appointed as a senator or anything to hold on to the leadership. I think the people have spoken here in Mesopotamia, and that is the start of everything. And so I wouldn't want to maneuver to hold on to leadership unless colleagues felt otherwise. So maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but as I speak to you, I will tender my resignation effective once we have a national convention to elect a new leader.
Barrow's opponent, Lee Mark Chang, made it clear that he had one goal in mind.
I sell food, I don't sell dreams. And I will continue with that.
You achieved your goal of, I don't want to say the word that you all said, the cancer word, but you managed to unseat Shine Barrow. So what does it look like next for the UDP?
I know Tracy won. I'm not sure of the other colleagues. I am very sad that my other colleague, Patrick, who is a very close friend of mine, I cannot confirm what is the final results yet, but I hope that he lost
here.
I'm very sad to hear that you confirm that, but I hope that myself, Tracy, Patrick, Godwin, and all of us that have won, and including Patrick also, because he's a very vital part of the UDP, that we could work together and we could rebuild this party and we could have a viable opposition moving forward.
But though Barrow isn't letting go of the reins so easily, he does not have the support of his standard bearers. During the elections, his candidate in Lakay, Samuel Cott-Kelvin, made some biting remarks about the lack of resources provided to them.
Yes, he gave me what? 1,000, 1,500, and 3,000 for the what? In a one big, massive division like this. I was surprised when I asked him for a budget. He asked me, send him a budget. So what happened is, I tell him, if you can't do that, give me half. Give me quarter. Let me have something to work with for Lake Independence Division. But apparently, not even that he wanted to do.
Me and Shane, we had a brief meeting, and he said, it's one UDP, and we should have one candidate. He was very clear that he was running under Shine Barrow's leadership, and there was nothing given to him as a machinery today to do anything, and he realized that he would do more harm than good, and he said he would never want to see this division go to PUP because in his heart, in his mind, he's a true UDP, and he began telling everyone, UDP all the way. Seeing him see Godwin for Queen Square, it was special. It made me feel that we're united, at least in Queen Square, and it gives a signal to this country, to this nation, that the UDP can unite.
I don't know where part that nonsense come from, honestly, Courtney. We're being civil. We're all friends. We all want better for the area. And of course, my objective is, if someone is doing, I hope it's a UDP candidate. That's my one objective. I don't know where it comes from that I decide to support him. I'm still out here trying to get everyone that I can come out, every voter that I can come, because I honestly believe that I'm the best candidate for Queen Square. I still maintain the fact that none of them live here and none of them care about our community like we care. So every single voter that come out, and I'm trying to get to them. I don't have the machinery that they have, that is true. I don't have the resources that they have, that is true. But I would never stand down from a fight.
But in the end, Haylock took home the seat, one of 3 on Panton's slate. And with her win in Albert, Panton is looking at becoming the first female leader of the opposition. She maintains that all the money and resources being pushed into her opponent's camp couldn't compete with the love she has for her division.
They know how much I love them, and I can tell you that tonight I feel the love right back. I want to say this is a pivotal moment for Belize. Hallelujah. It is a pivotal moment for the rebuilding of the United Democratic Party. And it is a pivotal moment for women in political leadership in Belize. The kind of money that was being spent in this constituency, and I am telling you, that was the experience in Colette, and that was the experience in many other divisions in the city. It was the intention of the government to have a complete sweep of the country, all 31 seats. And the Belizean people said, no.
And if the UDP did get one thing out of the election, it was a new leader of the opposition who would be crowned party leader after some difficult months of jostling.
For the first time in Belize's history, a woman, Tracy Panton, has been sworn in as leader of the opposition. Panton's win in Albert, as well as her appointment as interim leader of her party, cemented her place. At the Governor General's residence, she read the oath in front of her family, the members of her party, and her closest supporters.
It is a historic day for me and for my family, but for all women and girls in this country who aspire to leadership. I am entirely grateful to all those who have supported me, particularly the good people of the Albert constituency. I could not be here without them voting for me and supporting me for over the last 10 years. So I never envisioned being in politics in my younger years. Being here is a natural progression in terms of my work in public life. And as I said, I'm humbled and I'm deeply grateful for an opportunity to serve at this level. The first order of business is for us to regroup, to sit down together as a wider UDP family.
Another Sunday convention for the UDP saw party flexing with moderate strength. They drew a fair crowd with national representation. And even though the gathering of supporters may not have had the intensity you'd see at a contested leadership convention, they reveled in their redness. And they celebrated. The party closes the darkest, most divisive chapter in its history. The saga of the UDP's ever-changing leaders has finally come to an end with the endorsement of Tracy Panton, the first ever female party leader. This national convention was held at the same place, Birds Isle, where she first attempted to become leader, losing by only 3 votes to Shine Barrow in 2022. But this time, there is no competitor, and for her, the only battle she's facing is rebuilding her fractured party.
Our party has been shaken to its core. We are not where we should be. We are not who we must be. And we know, every single one of us, that the UDP has never been this low in our long and our proud history. We have been divided and we have been wounded. We have been distracted by internal battles when Belize needed us focus on national service. But here is the truth. Rock bottom is not the tomb. It is, my friends, the turning point. And today, we are at the turning point.
And a major push and pull she dealt with to get to her seat was the power struggle with the former leader, Shine Barrow. However, in his speech, he wished her the best.
We occupy these spaces, whether party leader, opposition leader, standard bearer, temporarily. Even life is for a moment before we transition to eternity. However, what lives forever is or are the ideals and principles of altruism, service, and empowerment. As I engage in the peaceful, united transfer of leadership to my successor, the Honorable Tracy Panton.
And while the political die ultimately rolled in Tracy's favor, shortly after the election, the PUP's political fortunes started to plummet as they lurched from one political controversy to the next. We'll catalog them when we come back. Stay tuned.
Belize Medical Associates is now equipped with the only advanced MRI machine in the country. The machine uses a powerful magnetic field, radio waves, and a computer to produce detailed pictures of the body's internal structures that are clearer, more detailed, and more likely to identify and accurately characterize diseases than other imaging methods. It is used to evaluate the body for a variety of conditions, particularly of the brain and spinal cord, but can be used for other conditions such as tumors and diseases of the liver, heart, and bowel. It may also be used to monitor an unborn child in the womb. MRI is non-invasive and does not use ionizing radiation. This means that you no longer have to travel abroad. You now have access to the most advanced imaging equipment in a professional setting that is designed for your ease and comfort. BMA remains committed to providing outstanding patient care, combining excellence in clinical imaging with state-of-the-art technology. To learn more about the MRI machine or to schedule an appointment, call 223-0303 today. Belize Medical Associates. We do care.
Delta Warehouse. One store, endless styles. Everything you need, one store away. Visit Delta Warehouse at number 91 Albert Street or message us on WhatsApp 612-2222.
From this time, everybody know Belizeans rum and party the best friend. But listen to me, your vehicle is not drunk proof. So make Terrence for Transport explain to you how you can be safe on the road during the holidays. Guess what? The first thing what drunk person will try to tell you, that they're not drunk. But even if the vehicle sober, you can't say straight for you, Mr. Man, Madam Lady. This is how alcohol affect you while you try drive. First of all, sorry, you listen to me, right? Okay, alcohol will slow down your reaction time. Then alcohol will mess with your judgment for distance. And if you drunk and you drive, your vehicle now will be the thing for save you, know. Your vehicle will put your life in danger. And Terrence and the team that transport now, I nobody put their life in danger. So if we catch you to drink and drive, we will charge you. And I will take away your license for you and make you think about your decisions. And if you feel like hard ears picnic and still do it again, okay, you will do it again, Mr. Snowman. I will send you the back and now I make them give you back your license. You hear? The safest vehicle that you could drive is the one where you not drive drunk. All right? I know the same make you not go out and go have fun, you know. And the same make you have a designated driver, call a friend, or even get a taxi. So if you don't drink, please don't drive because your vehicles could always be replaced, but your life cannot.
Drive safe, drive sober, save lives. This message was sponsored by the Ministry of Constitution and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs and Transportation, Belize Automobile Touring Association, and Universal Hardware.
What? Give me this one. Yeah, give me that. Cake, I know eat that. Pepper, take that, thank you. Jo Marie, come on, give me some cranberry, thank you.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Thank you.
Bruh.
Wait a minute.
Victory.
Jules, you need back surgery.
I don't. I'm good.
You need back surgery.
I'm good. I'm good.
You don't need back surgery. You need to resign.
Resign.
And there's breaking news. After a horse riding incident, Jules Vasquez decides that he needs back surgery and he's going to resign from Channel 7.
I hereby
Resign.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
V-Bucks could be transferred to and from your V-Bucks accounts. It's fast, easy, and convenient.
Download the V-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
V-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
And welcome back to Channel 7's Year in Review. As we showed you, the PUP won the March election by historic margins, but their political fortunes started to tumble shortly after, and it all started with this raise for the cabinet secretary and CEOs.
Totally off guard, Jules. This came at us like a thief in the night. At no point in time did we envision this shameless act once again by the cabinet secretary on behalf of the CEO caucus and himself. It's a disrespect to the entire collective bargaining process. It's a disrespect to the government negotiating team, in my view, because in essence, they're saying, we don't care what you're doing on the larger scale. We're looking after ourselves. And this is what we want, and this is what we get. In essence, only one small group continues to win.
That started a whole new wave of union agitation because they too wanted a raise, which government balked at first, pushing the unions to a new wave of militancy.
Over 3,000. That's a rough estimate by the Belize National Teachers Union of how many of their members came out in full force. The streets of Belmopan turned green as teachers marched through the capital in the largest crowd we have seen in almost 2 decades, even passing in front of the Sir Edney Kane building just as the inaugural session of the House of Representatives was underway.
I must tell you, they have exceeded my expectation. Teachers were not happy at all. And I'll tell you what the teachers have shared with me via text messages. The fact that the government saw what the CEOs were doing and gave them an increase without them asking. Then our teachers are saying, have you all been asking? Well, we have been, and no attention has been paid to us. So since we're asking, we're not getting it, then I'm coming out so that we can demand it.
We don't need to talk now, the time for making money.
Fire the CEOs and pay the teachers. Time hard out, we work hard.
We will be meeting with the team because the letter speaks to them going back to cabinet for a decision to be made. But we will be meeting and then we will be presenting to them once again our demands.
What's the main demand you put on the table?
Every single thing that is there is equally important. So we're not going to say this is the main demand and this is not everything that is there we want.
After the inaugural session of the House of Representatives, the union then went as close to the Edney Kane building as the cops would let them, hoping that the members of parliament would see, hear, and feel them. Police held the line and the teachers shouted, but did not push too hard. Around 11:15, the crowd began to disperse. But on Tuesday, we'll know what the next steps for the BNTU will be. These vehicles are all experiencing mechanical issues, or at least that's what the drivers claim. It's a form of protest that the BNTU has utilized, and at 6 o'clock this morning, in front of the monument at Mile 2, 5 vehicles blocked the entrance and exit to Dangriga. The drivers? All teachers who say they all had mechanical problems all at once. Even a bicycle seemed to be suffering from a mechanical failure. Police quickly responded with a tow truck to haul the vehicles out of the road and end the blockage. And that's when the protests got rowdy. Eventually, and after much hauling and pulling, the officers hooked the vehicle onto the tow truck, and with the owner sitting inside the driver's seat, the car was lifted onto the bed. The teacher put on her seatbelt and complained that someone took her key just as she was about to drive off. A lot of scenery and militancy early in the morning from the Dangriga branch. Eventually, they cleared the road, but the message of defiance was sent.
We as a department would like to stress that much leeway was given to the teachers that were a part of this morning's activity. They were actually afforded up to 2 hours to remove their vehicles and disperse, and it was only after this request was not met.
But the police still had their hands full in the afternoon because at lunchtime, there were a series of blockages across Belize City, starting with the Douglas Jones-Freetown intersection, then at Pongyar Bridge, and then at the junction on North Front Street. These blockages lasted about 15 minutes each, but the president of the Belize City branch says it's just a warning for now.
BNTU, our branch, along with all our branches nationally, have decided that we need to show the government that we are serious about getting our adjustment and our frozen increments, since they have already offered that to us. However, I believe that the Prime Minister said Nemudos or something to that effect, that we are holding the children hostage. We are not. They have been holding us hostage, as our president rightly said, both governments. The narrative has changed, and we want them to know we've already earned what they have taken away from us. In the coming days or weeks ahead, it will be even more serious than this, because we are prepared to go the full measure and the full extent that we need to go to get what we know we have worked for and that we deserve. We have written them, the junta has written to them, and they are still awaiting a response. And so that is where we are at this time. They have written to them saying clearly that the members, that the 3 unions reject the offer that government gave us for the 3% and the 1 frozen increment at the start of the 2026-2027 financial year. We want what we know they are able to give us. We know that we have gotten the attention that we needed, and if we need to do this again, it will be for longer.
There were also similar traffic blocking protests in Louisville, Corozal, and at the entrance to Corozal Town, while this morning Toledo teachers did their thing at the Bella Vista Junction. It was a message sent nationally, and the president said they will know if they were heard when they got back an answer today.
We are still negotiating, members. We are still negotiating.
From before travelers got to the airport today, they could sense the heavy police presence. They even had the tow truck ready. But all their presence couldn't stop this from happening. Dean Flowers and his union comrades were barred entry from the airport. And that's when things started to turn.
Young man, I need to park, but I need to pick up my people. Yeah?
So are you being barred entry from the airport?
Yes, something is wrong with this government, man. Something is wrong with this government. How comes as a citizen I can't come pick up my people now when they come in?
Meanwhile, union reinforcements had already assembled in the parking lot and had their placards ready. They had the numbers to do what we had not seen before, form a blockade at the entrance to the airport as they slid into position. And within a minute, there they were, fully blocking the entrance to the airport. Only about 40 of them, but effectively spread out.
They stopped me, and they locked my vehicle. I don't know whose instructions. Either the officer in charge, I need my vehicle, Mr. Raimondo. I'm communicating with the person in charge of this. It would appear that the concession company more powerful than the police department. That's the way you appear, because how can Mr. Raimundo not command these officers to do their damn job?
And that is when tourists had to start walking in, one by one, and then by the busload. A minor inconvenience, but a major way for this union to send its message with maximum effect, tainting the sacred tourism product.
It took 3 months, but the unions brought the government around. But by then, the government's hands and moral authority were weakened by successive revelations of corruption made by 7 News. And it all started with a hijacking. We'll show you all that when we come back.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
After you have earned enough B-Bucks, you can spend them. Remember, B-Bucks is as good as cash. It's free money.
Shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
Out here, the sea is more than just water. It's memory, identity, and livelihood.
One of my most memorable catch was at the reef patch. It was completely covered with lobster. You couldn't even see the coral. It was completely covered with lobster. We caught about 400 or 500 pounds of lobster in one day.
These memories live in the hearts of Belize's fishers. But today, the story is changing.
If you fish one area over and over, you won't have anything. That's why today we have a big problem with fishing.
Despite increasing pressure on our oceans, fishers remain at the front lines, adapting, innovating, and calling for change.
The guys that are fishing, they know the tricks of the trade, so it's easy to hide, it's easy to get away, and it's just been happening for too many years.
Fisher stories are Belize's stories. Support fisher-led decision-making because their best catch can still lie ahead.
This year reminded us that our work is so much more than communication. It's connection. Every time we supported a school, a youth program, or a community event, we felt the heartbeat of Belize. We met students who just needed someone to believe in them, and families grateful for a supportive hand. We saw communities welcome SMART not just as a brand, but a trusted friend. For us, impact is created through service, presence, and purpose. As we move into a new year, we remain committed to empowering our communities and sharing stories that reflect how SMART strengthens the connections that matter most.
That commitment to people drives how we build our products. We focused on delivering real value and flexibility. We upgraded our postpaid plans to include social media data, keeping you connected to your favorite platforms without the extra cost. For the prepay family, we enhanced prepay plans to ensure you get more data and benefits from every single recharge. Flex bundles now better match real-time budgets, improving affordability. We introduced affordable Mexico data bundles to keep you connected while traveling. We are listening, adapting, and ensuring you get high-value connectivity you deserve.
Great plans need a great network. SMART strengthened its promise of bringing people together by investing heavily in expansion. We added new towers in key areas, bringing a stronger signal and improved service to more communities. Customers along the coastal road in Blancano, Mountain Pine Ridge, and Cristo Rey now enjoy more consistent coverage, making SMART a reliable companion for every journey. SMART launched its fiber network in Sartineja, bringing reliable high-speed connectivity for today's digital needs.
At SMART, we strive to reflect the energy of Belize in everything we do. From celebrating 20 years of excellent service to exciting collaborations, we've shared unforgettable times. We've delighted you with our biggest giveaways and deals ever. Ads you could laugh and connect to, and launched a revamped website to make your digital experience faster and more engaging.
As we look forward to the new year, we remain committed to what matters to you most: the communities we serve, the connections we build, and the precious moments we all share. All these remind us of our true identity and steadfast purpose, bringing people together.
Belize Medical Associates is now equipped with the only advanced MRI machine in the country. The machine uses a powerful magnetic field, radio waves, and a computer to produce detailed pictures of the body's internal structures that are clearer, more detailed, and more likely to identify and accurately characterize diseases than other imaging methods. It is used to evaluate the body for a variety of conditions, particularly of the brain and spinal cord, but can be used for other conditions such as tumors and diseases of the liver, heart, and bowel. It may also be used to monitor an unborn child in the womb. MRI is non-invasive and does not use ionizing radiation. This means that you no longer have to travel abroad. You now have access to the most advanced imaging equipment in a professional setting that is designed for your ease and comfort. BMA remains committed to providing outstanding patient care, combining excellence in clinical imaging with state-of-the-art technology. To learn more about the MRI machine or to schedule an appointment, call 223-0303 today. Belize Medical Associates, we do care.
Welcome back to Channel 7's Year in Review, and we start again on a story that happened April 17th. Known as Holy Thursday, most of us were preparing for the long Easter weekend, but one man, Akinyele Taylor, had his own plans. He wanted a Tropic Air flight out of Ranchito Village to take him to the United States, and he was willing to hijack the Cessna Caravan with 15 persons on board to do it. What unfolded next is one of the most incredible stories Belize has ever seen.
Police say an American citizen hijacked a small plane at knife point.
Jump. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. People are running off. Oh my God, this is unreal.
Looks like that's one of the passengers. Military is walking with guns.
By now, we all know what happened on Thursday morning in the skies above Belize, but what depths of personal unraveling and lack of institutional oversight allowed one man to weaponize a domestic flight in Belize?
The hijacker came into the country, attempted to enter the country over the weekend through the Belize northern border, and he was refused entry by immigration. So we're still wondering how he eventually came in. But again, we all know the porous nature of the border, so he might have came in illegally.
He ended up in the Corozal Free Zone, spending the night in an abandoned building.
I'm told that the free zone last night involving the same hijacker, so he seems to be a problematic person, and so that is what we know about him.
He next reappeared on Holy Thursday, where he booked a Tropic Air flight from Ranchito Airport in Corozal, headed for San Pedro town, What followed was a terrifying hour and 40 minutes in the air. The hijacker, later identified as Taylor, took control of the flight, stabbing the pilot and holding him at knife point, while demanding a change of direction to be flown to the United States. His demands were that they find somewhere to land and refuel. But after that 1 hour and 40 minutes circling, time ran out. With only 20 minutes of fuel left, despite having resisted landing at the PGIA earlier, aware that police would likely be waiting, Taylor was ultimately compelled to let the pilot bring the plane down. 3 people were seriously injured in the ordeal: the pilot who had been stabbed and 2 passengers, one who carried his firearm on the flight and reportedly shot Taylor. Moments after the plane touched down, Taylor was dead. When Howell Grange came out of the hospital this morning, it was the applause from the doctors and nurses that tended to him for 6 days. When he arrived there last Thursday morning, they weren't sure he would make it. He had been stabbed 10 times, flown by helicopter to healthcare partners, and had lost a lot of blood, while also aspirating and ingesting blood from the stab wound to his cheek and tongue. Doctors performed emergency surgery, and he was intubated and placed in an induced coma to stabilize his condition. From there, the 40-year-old made slow, incremental improvements. He had a lot to recover from. His ear had nearly been sliced off, and the hijacker tried to stab him in the eye. He also sliced him across the hand and right through his cheek, which Grange says was an attempt to cut his throat. The severity of the wounds are apparent. Taylor was trying to kill him in a rage after realizing that he had landed right back in Belize, not in the U.S. But Grange fought back and he somehow survived. And today he came out of the hospital smiling, but also emotional. His first stop was the Church of Divine Mercy to give thanks for surviving an ordeal which he said only his faith could have brought him through. He limped into the church. Grange, who has been a rock throughout, perhaps allowed himself an emotional moment. Because of the injury to his tongue, he could not take Holy Communion as his wife did, but he did take ample blessings, which he seemed grateful for after the near-death experience. Why was it so important to you to go straight to church?
To show the Belizean public that fear God, man, and thank him to give me the opportunity to be here again. I'd like to thank the Belizean public, home and abroad, my friends abroad, for all the communication, all the texts, the calls, overwhelmed. I had to come because only with him I couldn't do it. I think so. There's a God. There is, trust me.
And there's also a pilot who made sure to save the lives of all his passengers.
I just did what I do. I had to do my job and get everybody home.
And while pilot Grange is still recovering from the physical injuries and mental trauma of that event, the entire aviation sector experienced aftershocks as a consequence of that hijacking. It happened because there wasn't enough security at the Ranchito airstrip, and that sent us looking down a rabbit hole for the truth behind the award of security contracts to highly favored contract. It proved to be an investigation with many revealing layers of hidden influence and private profiteering off public contracts.
iSecurity and 4 Diamond Security are the recipients of 10-year contracts from the Belize Airports Authority. Over that period, iSecurity's contract is valued at $13.5 million, and 4 Diamond's contract is valued at $15 million. It's a total of $28.5 million over the life of the contracts, or about $2.85 million annually. In December of 2024, when hints of election were in the air that these hefty contracts were awarded. And that process in itself was unusual. The bids were not put out to open tender, but instead put to selective tendering to, quote, include selected security companies that provide security services for the Philip Goldson International Airport and other licensed security service companies. iSecurity, recipient of the $13.5 million contract, is owned by consummate PUP insider from the North, Ian Cal, while 4 Diamonds is owned by Michael Estefan, who also has links to the current administration. According to the terms of the contract, the company started getting paid on January 1st, 2025. But what were they getting paid for? We know that in April, after the hijacking, iSecurity at least was not active at the airstrips, and they were rushing to get up to speed, hurriedly getting a 1-week crash course in airport security from the PGIA, which 12 of the 18 officers failed, according to sources at the airport. Under the terms of the contract, iSecurity would have already been paid $173,000. By May, under the terms of the contract, they would have already been paid over $200,000, which seems enough to mobilize. But when we checked today, we saw KBH security stationed at Tropic Air, while police and a security officer wearing green were at Maya. And if the companies seemed ill-equipped, it may be because of the unusual timing of the tendering process. The airport's authority discloses no date for when the invitation for bids was sent out, but it seems the authority was in a rush to award them before Christmas. Bids had to be delivered on December 19th, which was a Thursday, and were opened by Friday, December 20th. And then by Monday the 23rd, iSecurity was awarded its contract, while 4Diamond got its one on the 24th. The deal signed and sealed just in time for Christmas. But not in time to prevent the April hijacking, which would not have been covered in any case because the security was not assigned to cover the Ranchita airstrip. Today, 6 weeks later, 2 of them, Grange and Fitzgerald Brown, are still going through physical therapy and are a long way from being okay or back to work. And one wonders if securing the aerodromes had really been the priority of the Belize Airports Authority when these contracts were signed. Maybe life for these men would not have been unalterably changed on April 17th. On Tuesday, Prime Minister and Minister of Civil Aviation John Briceño was simultaneously critical of and thankful to 7 News for exposing the iSecurity and 4Diamond security contracts.
That's a matter that we have to we have to take a very a closer look, a hard look at it. But the irony is that it's almost an issue of damn if you do, damn if you don't. If we had not announced that we already have something in place when they had the unfortunate hijacking of the plane, probably News 7 would be hammering us to say, well, you know this is going to happen and you have done nothing. Now we do something, you find a fault.
So you have to do it correctly, though, PM.
So he will find fault in whatever we do, and that's okay.
In 2024, the 3 most important political figures at the helm of the Belize Airports Authority were Minister of Civil Aviation John Briceño, who appoints the board members and to whom ultimately they answer, his CEO, Narda Garcia, who is an ex officio board member, and the general manager, in this case her daughter, Thea Garcia. Yet when the chairman of the Belize Airports Authority, Ricardo Martin, signed $28.5 million in security contracts with 2 non-TSA certified companies owned by politically connected persons on December 23rd and 24th, 2024, somehow none of these persons seem to be fully in the loop.
Are you able to say who got the contract for securing the various airfields and aerodromes throughout the country?
No, I am not. The chairman was the one that executed that contract.
I remember getting an email. I was out on sick leave. It was the 23rd. I was of the opinion that maybe it was a bit, maybe hasty, yes. But I was not there when the contracts were signed.
Was I involved in the process? No. Had I known, I would have probably given advice that we need to go a different route.
But it was the PM's job to know. Actually, his legal obligation. The Belize Airports Authority Act says explicitly, the authority shall appoint a tenders committee from amongst the board of directors, and all contracts above $40,000 Belize dollars awarded by the authority shall require the prior approval of the minister. In this case, the Minister of Civil Aviation, PM Briceño. These contracts were way, way above that figure. As the Minister of Finance, the PM also had a duty of oversight because the Act says except with the approval of the Minister of Finance after consultation with the Minister for Communications, no further sum shall be expended during any fiscal year other than is provided in the estimates relating to such financial year. Notably, the BAA's FOIA letter to us makes no mention of a tender committee. In fact, it says that Chairman Ricardo Martin decided to do selective tendering instead of open tendering.
They were some of the most odious contracts to be revealed in recent memory, and tonight those airport security contracts have been suspended.
And so while our exposure got those contracts canceled, the government still has refused to say how much it paid to those companies and what the public got for it. But that investigation led to another, and it involved a whole credit union branch and transactions involving payments for contracts under the hand of a minister of state. We'll tell you about that when we come back.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Welcome to Mikado Textile Palace, where color and style come alive for every space in your home. From elegant fabrics to bold curtain prints, we have a selection like no other. Our friendly staff will guide you with personal, warm, and professional service to find the right color, feel, and style for your perfect match. Mikado, your #1 textile palace, 37 Albert Street. The right coloring, the right service, the right designs, the right mix for your home.
Out here, the sea is more than just water. It's memory, identity, and livelihood.
One of my most memorable catch was at the reef patch. It was completely covered with lobster. You couldn't even see the coral. It was completely covered with lobster. We caught about 400 or 500 pounds of lobster in one day.
These memories live in the hearts of Belize's fishers. But today, the story is changing.
If you fish one area over and over, you won't have anything. That's why today we have a big problem with fishing.
Despite increasing pressure on our oceans, fishers remain at the front lines, adapting, innovating, and calling for change.
The guys that are fishing, they know the tricks of the trade, so it's easy to hide, it's easy to get away, and it's just been happening for too many years.
Fisher stories are Belize's stories. Support fisher-led decision-making because their best catch can still lie ahead.
This year reminded us that our work is so much more than communication. It's connection. Every time we supported a school, a youth program, or a community event, we felt the heartbeat of Belize. We met students who just needed someone to believe in them, and families grateful for a supportive hand. We saw communities welcome SMART not just as a brand, but a trusted friend. For us, impact is created through service, presence, and purpose. As we move into a new year, we remain committed to empowering our communities and sharing stories that reflect how SMART strengthens the connections that matter most.
That commitment to people drives how we build our products. We focused on delivering real value and flexibility. We upgraded our postpaid plans to include social media data, keeping you connected to your favorite platforms without the extra cost. For the prepay family, we enhanced prepay plans to ensure you get more data and benefits from every single recharge. Flex bundles now better match real-time budgets, improving affordability. We introduced affordable Mexico data bundles to keep you connected while traveling. We are listening, adapting, and ensuring you get high-value connectivity you deserve.
Great plans need a great network. Smart strengthened its promise of bringing people together by investing heavily in expansion. We added new towers in key areas, bringing a stronger signal and improved service to more communities. Customers along the coastal road in Blancano, Mountain Pine Ridge, and Cristo Rey now enjoy more consistent coverage, making Smart a reliable companion for every journey. Smart launched its fiber network in Sartineja, bringing reliable high-speed connectivity for today's digital needs.
At Smart, we strive to reflect the energy of Belize in everything we do. From celebrating 20 years of excellent service to exciting collaborations, we've shared unforgettable times. We've delighted you with our biggest giveaways and deals ever, ads you could laugh and connect to, and launched a revamped website to make your digital experience faster and more engaging.
As we look forward to the new year, we remain committed to what matters to you most: the communities we serve, the connections we build, and the precious moments we all share. All these remind us of our true identity and steadfast purpose, bringing people together.
Start earning B-Bucks today. It's really quite easy. All you have to do is make a purchase at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember, B-Bucks is as good as cash. It's free money.
Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
What? Give me this son. Yeah, give me that. Cake, I know eat that, Pepper, take that, thank you. Jo Marie, come on, give me some cranberry, thank you. Oh no! Oh my God! Thank you. Bruh.
Wait a minute.
Victory.
Jules, you need back surgery.
I don't. I'm good.
You
I'm
need
good. I'm
back
good.
surgery.
I'm good. I don't. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You don't need back surgery. You need to resign.
Resign. Resign. Resign.
And there's breaking news. After a horse riding incident, Jules Vasquez decides that he needs back surgery and he's going to resign from Channel 7.
I hereby
Resign. 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 Resign.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
And welcome back to Channel 7's Year in Review. In May and June, 7 News embarked on a number of investigative stories, and one of them had to do with the Toledo Teachers Credit Union, Bella Vista branch. That's where Minister of Economic Development, under the hand of former CEO Osman Martinez, sent a number of payments for a specific contractor.
On May 13th, 16 days ago, we hand-delivered these Freedom of Information requests to the Financial Secretary and the Prime Minister. They responded yesterday at 5:30 p.m. That's 15 days later, asking for an extension. They say they are compiling the requested materials and have been delayed by the budget and asked for an extension to June 5th. They need the time because they have to find answers for a number of transactions from the ministry that have been flagged as questionable. The funds amounted to almost $300,000 paid to 2 companies owned by a man known to be a member of Osman Martinez's Toledo East Committee. The last payment was made 1 week after he was elected as area rep in a by-election. The funds deposited in the accounts were very significant and not supported by the documentation in the file. The account was flagged for lack of documentation for source of funds, mainly the building contract. Martinez signed at least one of those contracts, and he told us everything was above board, which he says the evidence, when presented, will prove.
A special investigation of the Bella Vista branch of the Toledo Teachers Credit Union found that 8 staffers, including senior personnel, engaged in internal fraud and theft, leading to the direct misappropriation of funds from at least 28 member accounts. It happened between the early months of 2022 and continued until it was discovered in the last quarter of 2024. This was supposed to be reported to the more than 7,000 members on Saturday at the annual general meeting at the TCC auditorium, but the meeting could not proceed because they could not get the quorum of even 100 members. And the bad news that the board had to share with them included the fact that this cluster of crooked employees at the Bella Vista branch had racked up more than $500,000 through various acts of fraud, most prominently making loans on members' account without their knowledge, and then dispersing the money, with the member not finding out until the loans they never knew they took out became delinquent. In the report, it stated that the management allowed a culture of unethical business practices to take root. What oversights or failures would you say led to this?
That is an opinion that was shared. We do not share that opinion. We know that there were areas that were deficient, and the institution has certainly strengthen those areas to ensure that there is not a reoccurrence of this situation.
And the chairman and his board have to hope that the answer is satisfactory enough to satisfy the thousands of members who will likely face the reality of a very bad financial year.
In the special investigation report on the TTCU, it points to, quote, a mysterious case of 2 business accounts opened up at the Bella Vista branch which belonged to a married couple. These accounts were flagged by the compliance officer initially because the funds deposited in the accounts were very significant and not supported by the documentation in the file. Those funds, totaling almost $300,000, were deposited from the government treasury. The general manager said there was no clear source of funds information, which is a very big red flag in banking.
Source of funds were incomplete, and so we had to cut off business with them. We had to close their accounts, and then they moved that to some other institution.
Those contracts came from the Ministry of Economic Development between February 2023 to August 2024. The current Toledo East area representative, Osman Martinez, where Bella Vista is the largest population center, is known to have a close acquaintance with one of the principals of these companies, Jose Felipe Flores, who is a prominent political supporter. Martinez is named in the report as having signed one of the contracts and says he submitted all the required contract information as a source of funds to Romero. What Mr. Martinez says is that it was just a mix-up. The signed contracts exist, it's just that the contractor was pushing, he wanted it to proceed, and he was submitting a contract with only one signature, while they in Belmopan had the contract with the 2 signatures. He said it was just a mix-up.
I am yet to see that because he promised to provide me with the original contracts, which up to this date I don't have. Even if you go through all my emails, and I was looking forward to getting those, to put them in the file, to prove to the regulator that we are doing our due diligence on these accounts. And so if he had sent me, I would easily print them and put them there. But if you go to those files right now, they're not there. Our compliance officer was the one who looked at the account and look, there is false information here. If your address is Economical Street in Dangriga and you are in Bella Vista, and when we went to Dangriga, there is no such office. So that those cemented the actions that we took right after that, closed the accounts. We can't do business like this.
And that's why the TTCU walked away and left it to higher authorities.
It is an issue of the FIU and the central bank who investigate such situations.
This is contractor Jose Felipe Lopez at Osmond Martinez's swearing in last year. So you could say he's part of the minister's inner circle. Reports tell us he also recently did work to renovate the minister's office in Belmopan, and the restroom, and the IT office. But that's not under scrutiny right now. Tonight we're looking at these 3 contracts. They were awarded to companies co-owned or operated by Flores.
It seems like this is your contractor of choice because of your close personal friendship.
But that's inaccurate, Jules. And so, for example, I have signed, I don't know how much millions of dollars as a CEO, no? And he's not the one who got all the contract. But there has been more work that has been done here in the ministry, you know? And you can come and see.
Yes, but if you bring a contractor from Bella Vista to work at your office in Belmopan, something wrong with that. That's unusual.
I know you are trying to make news, but make we focus on 2 things, which is the big problem. No, but wait. The source of the funds, right? Which is, I mean, if the source of the funds are not legitimate, that's money laundering.
It is.
All right. So that's the important part.
So we go to the source of the funds. These are the disbursements we asked about in our Freedom of Information requests. They all went to 3 companies owned or operated by Flores: Express Construction, Savannah Construction, and Allen Construction. The flags raised in the special investigation of the Toledo Teachers Credit Union point to monies paid out without a proper source of funds.
It's important to note that the contractor would take the contract that was signed only by him. And to make matters worse, it was accepted by the credit union and they gave him the money.
And the allegation is that it was accepted by the credit union because he was cousins with the general manager. And the allegation is that the general manager was running a lot of red lights, regulatory red lights.
It's the branch manager, Jorge Rodriguez. He has since been released from the credit union, where the special investigation found that he could be criminally liable for fraud, gross negligence, and gross misconduct. But where did he turn up? Right at Martinez's Ministry of Economic Transformation. His contact tab says he's a financial administrator at that ministry. And we sent him an email asking for a comment at his ministry email address. And this is what he sent us back. For clarity, I'm currently employed under a health program, a position I obtained through a competitive and transparent process involving interviews with multiple stakeholders from various sectors. I received no assistance or recommendation from any government official during this process. He continues, to date, I have not received any formal allegations from TTCU or any competent authority. I also wish to note that I left the credit union on amicable terms and remain bound by a confidentiality agreement with TTCU. As such, sharing any information publicly could potentially be used against me, end quote. But when he spoke to us last week, the TTCU general manager was not so restrained.
There's I don't want to call names, but the company owner is related closely to the branch manager. So there was collusion.
Indeed, there is no such office, no such company registered with a trade license in Dangriga, and not even a water meter in that name. That's the company the ministry under Martinez's hand was awarding contracts to. But he insists those contracts were legitimate. It's the credit union which was not, including the man who now works at his ministry.
Osmond Martinez has nothing to do with the internal affairs of the credit union, and the general manager and everyone else within the management system should be held accountable.
This chain link fence at the Southern Regional Hospital in Dangriga spans about 400 feet by 600 feet. It's massive, and those in the construction business we spoke to tell us a structure like this could cost as much as $100,000, probably more. According to the former CEO, Osmond Martinez, who issued the contract to fund the construction of the fence, the repairs came out of this disbursement, which was issued on March 14, 2024, a $48,000 contract to repair the roof and dredge the drains. Martinez provided us this contract and explained how the scope of works changed from a roof to a fence.
So, for example, in the that fence that was built for in the project for Dangriga, right? There was an issue that they were having with squatters, and we have a recorded request from the Ministry of Health on that one, where the Ministry of Health asked that instead of doing the roof and the drainage that was to be done, which the drainage was a leach for black waters, that behind the hospital, they're having some issues with squatters. The Ministry of Natural Resources had to resurvey the area for the ministry, for the hospital, of which then they said, you know what, we will build a fence instead of doing that. The fence is right here and built. And it is on the purview of the government to change the scope of the projects. No, to the second, as long as it's well discussed and it is right in line with the investment. No?
Of course, there is no such provision within the Constitution, but to make a fence like this from a contract of this size would require some kind of magic. Of course, there is no such provision within the Constitution, but to make a fence like this from a contract of this size would require some kind of magic.
Who will be upset because you are doing more?
This is Ecumenical Drive in Dangriga Town. We searched up and down, but could not find the office for Express Construction, and no one in the area had heard of it. It has no registered trade license in the town. We got the company address from a quotation in a government contract, but it seems no one in government cared to check if the office really exists or if it is a registered company. They just routed contract funds through the Toledo Teachers Credit Union in Bella Vista, which dutifully processed it.
And that series of revelations was just the very start of a bad year of governance for the Briseno administration. When we come back, we'll tell you about the cover-up that rocked the government and the police. Stay tuned to Channel 7's Year in Review.
Belize Medical Associates is now equipped with the only advanced MRI machine in the country. The machine uses a powerful magnetic field, radio waves, and a computer to produce detailed pictures of the body's internal structures that are clearer, more detailed, and more likely to identify and accurately characterize diseases than other imaging methods. It is used to evaluate the body for a variety of conditions, particularly of the brain and spinal cord, but can be used for other conditions such as tumors and diseases of the liver, heart, and bowel. It may also be used to monitor an unborn child in the womb. MRI is non-invasive and does not use ionizing radiation. This means that you no longer have to travel abroad. You now have access to the most advanced imaging equipment in a professional setting that is designed for your ease and comfort. BMA remains committed to providing outstanding patient care, combining excellence in clinical imaging with state-of-the-art technology. To learn more about the MRI machine or to schedule an appointment, call 223-0303 today. Belize Medical Associates, we do care.
Delta Warehouse, one store, endless styles. Everything you need, one store away. Visit Delta Warehouse at number 91 Albert Street or message us on WhatsApp 612-2222.
Around this time, everybody know Belizeans rum and party the best friend. But listen to me, your vehicle is not drunk proof. So make Terrence for Transport explain to you how you can be safe on the road during the holidays. Guess what? The first thing what drunk person will try to tell you, that they're not drunk. But even if the vehicle sober, you can't say straight for you, Mr. Man, Madam Lady. This is how alcohol affect you while you try drive. First of all, sorry, you listen to me, right? Okay, alcohol will slow down your reaction time. Then alcohol will mess with your judgment for distance. And if you drunk and you drive, your vehicle now will be the thing for save you, know. Your vehicle will put your life in danger. And Terrence and the team that transport now, and nobody put their life in danger. So if we catch you to drink and drive, we will charge you. And I will take away your license for you and make you think about your decisions. And if you feel like hard ears picnic and still do it again, okay, you will do it again, Mr. Snowman. I will send you the back, and now I make them give you back your license. You hear? The safest vehicle that you could drive is the one where you not drive drunk. All right? I know the same make you not go out and go have fun, you know. And the same make you have a designated driver, call a friend, or even get a taxi. So if you don't drink, please don't drive, because your vehicles could always be replaced, but your life cannot.
Drive safe, drive sober, save lives. This message was sponsored by the Ministry of Constitution and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs and Transportation, Belize Automobile Touring Association, and Universal Hardware.
What? Give me this one. Yeah, give me that. Cake, I know eat that, Pepper, and take that, thank you. Jo Marie, come on, give me some cranberry, thank you. Oh no! Oh my God! Thank you. Bruh.
Wait a minute.
Victory.
Jules, you need back surgery.
I don't. I'm good.
You need back surgery.
I'm good. I'm good.
You don't need back surgery. You need for resign.
Resign. Resign. Resign.
And there's breaking news. After a horse riding incident, Jules Vasquez decides that he needs back surgery and he's going to resign from Channel 7.
I hereby
Resign. 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 Resign.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
B-Bucks can be transferred to and from your B-Bucks accounts. It's fast, easy, and convenient.
Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
year, Belizean citizen journalist Joseph Budna is still locked up in a Guatemalan jail. How he got there is a combination of both criminal conspiracy and hopeless blundering, the kind you would expect from Keystone cops, except this was no joke. It was the abduction of a citizen that started a saga of deception and distortions that continues as we enter the new year. Here's how it all unfolded.
This was Joseph Budna's last Facebook Live on Friday night in Orange Walk Town, almost directly in front of the police station. When he was finishing, he noted something odd.
I hear something just now. You hear somebody say, Budna? Nobody there wrong here. Make me go. Me move fire now. And me one there. Anyway, bye. Bye. I'll come on back in a while.
But he never came back. He ended up, though, in the hands of Guatemalan police, as detailed in this voice message he sent from custody.
That I was kidnapped on the Friday gone, just in front of the Orange Walk police station.
The video shows Joseph Budna being chased from Banquitas towards the courthouse and police station. He's pursued by one man while the blue Chevy Equinox, which looks grey in the video, is also on his tail. They try to catch him under the courthouse and he dashes back towards Banquitas. All the while, he's hollering. He then runs across the street to the library where he falls on the sidewalk and they beat him for 3 minutes. All the while, he's shouting, making noise. After 1.5 minutes of this beatdown, a police officer strides over from the station. One of the aggressors stands up from beating an unarmed man and casually waves off the responding officer. They went to talk in an area off camera for a few seconds, and the police officer then walked back to the station, sending home a civilian who was also responding. The abductors can be seen carrying Joseph Budna across the street. The Equinox, with him inside, then drives off and is later seen driving up stop to get away. Rosado denied what the footage clearly showed.
But our investigation so far has not revealed that any police officer approached those individuals. And it was shown in the camera footage that only the confrontation were among 4 individuals.
It's a telling comment. He refers with specific knowledge to the footage, and we know what that shows. A corporal of police responding. But why then would the compol lie about something shown so plainly on the footage? This logbook entry in the official SPU diary certifies the handing over of a CZ brand 9mm pistol with 14 live rounds to Detective Constable 476 Barry Flowers on Thursday, August 21st at 9:56 a.m. At 9:59 a.m., Flowers, who at that time was listed on the official SPU detail as being on leave, acknowledges receipt of the weapon and signs for it. It happened here at the Mahogany Street substation, where weapons are never assigned to officers on leave. The officer commanding of the SPU, Superintendent Aaron Gamboa, says he gave no such authority. So who above him in the senior command did, and why? Are you able to make any characterization of the file that's before you?
It is not a thin file. I too was expecting a thin file. It is not a thin file. I was also expecting, and I apologize as director for saying this, but I was also expecting that there would have been nothing in the file. What I was not expecting was that there would be less than nothing in the file, which is really my characterization of what has been put before me.
Corporal Carlos Choco, he was the NCO in charge at the Orange Walk police station on the night of August 22nd. And he was the one who went to see what was the disturbance across the street from the station. When he got there, he found 3 police officers beating a man on the ground, a man we now know is Ryan Joseph Budna. A police officer identified as Constable Barry Flowers walked over to wave off Choco and allegedly tell him they were on a mission for a senior officer. Choco dutifully went about his business and even got a concerned civilian to do the same. In a secret, never-before-heard recording, Choco can be heard telling a fellow officer that he gave a true statement saying what Barry Flowers allegedly told him. And then In the ACP Suzette Anderson investigation, he was made to give another at the urging of a senior officer.
The second statement, make recognize the person there and everything else. They ask me, I tell tell them not to do that, to tell me make the rate where I see. So the first one where I rate, that way Mr. Kowa tell me to rate the truth, so I rate the truth and everything. That statement they got my original signature.
Are you operating on the clear conclusion that obviously a crime was committed in plain view on that night?
Obviously, a crime has been committed. I don't believe there is any doubt in relation to whether or not a crime has been committed. A Belizean citizen was in Belize. He is now in a Guatemalan prison. It was not his intention to go to that Guatemalan prison, and he has spoken, and he has said what happened to him. A crime has been committed.
But if we know who did it, why can't they be arrested and charged?
You seem to know who did it, Jules.
He's identified someone. That person was put on interdiction. The acting commissioner took it seriously enough.
Mm-hmm. So, as I said earlier, I need to have it within the four corners of my file.
And while Budna, both the kidnapping and cover-up may be the crime of the century so far, there were many shocking stories of traumatic deaths in 2025, some that still has us shaken as the year ends. We'll look at those sad ones when we come back. Stay tuned.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
After you have earned enough B-Bucks, you can spend them. Remember, B-Bucks is as good as cash. It's free money.
Shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
Out here, the sea is more than just water. It's memory, identity, and livelihood.
One of my most memorable catch was at the reef patch. It was completely covered with lobster. You couldn't even see the coral. It was completely covered with lobster. We caught about 400 or 500 pounds of lobster in one day.
These memories live in the hearts of Belize's fishers. But today, the story is changing.
If you fish one area over and over, you won't have anything. That's why today we have a big problem with fishing.
Despite increasing pressure on our oceans, fishers remain at the front lines, adapting, innovating, and calling for change.
The guys that are fishing, they know the tricks of the trade, so it's easy to hide, it's easy to get away, and it's just been happening for too many years.
Fisher stories are Belize's stories. Support fisher-led decision-making because their best catch can still lie ahead.
This year reminded us that our work is so much more than communication. It's connection. Every time we supported a school, a youth program, or a community event, we felt the heartbeat of Belize. We met students who just needed someone to believe in them, and families grateful for a supportive hand. We saw communities welcome SMART not just as a brand, but a trusted friend. For us, impact is created through service, presence, and purpose. As we move into a to empowering our communities and sharing stories that reflect how SMART strengthens the connections that matter most.
That commitment to people drives how we build our products. We focused on delivering real value and flexibility. We upgraded our postpaid plans to include social media data, keeping you connected to your favorite platforms without the extra cost. For the prepay family, we enhanced prepay plans to ensure you get more data and benefits from every single recharge. Flex bundles now better match real-time budgets, improving affordability. We introduced affordable Mexico data bundles to keep you connected while traveling. We are listening, adapting, and ensuring you get high-value connectivity you deserve.
Great plans need a great network. SMART strengthened its promise of bringing people together by investing heavily in expansion. We added new towers in key areas, bringing a stronger signal and improved service to more communities. Customers along the coastal road in Blancano, Mountain Pine Ridge, and Cristo Rey now enjoy more consistent coverage, making SMART a reliable companion for every journey. SMART launched its fiber network in Sartineja, bringing reliable high-speed connectivity for today's digital needs.
At SMART, we strive to reflect the energy of Belize in everything we do. From celebrating 20 years of excellent service to exciting collaborations, we've shared unforgettable times. We've delighted you with our biggest giveaways and deals ever, ads you could laugh and connect to, and launched a revamped website to make your digital experience faster and more engaging.
As we look forward to the new year, we remain committed to what matters to you most: the communities we serve, the connections we build, and the precious moments we all share. All these remind us of our true identity and steadfast purpose, bringing people together.
Belize Medical Associates is now equipped with the only advanced MRI machine in the country. The machine uses a powerful magnetic field, radio waves, and a computer to produce detailed pictures of the body's internal structures that are clearer, more detailed, and more likely to identify and accurately characterize diseases than other imaging methods. It is used to evaluate the body for a variety of conditions, particularly of the brain and spinal cord, but can be used for other conditions such as tumors and diseases of the liver, heart, and bowel. It may also be used to monitor an unborn child invasive and does not use ionizing radiation. This means that you no longer have to travel abroad. You now have access to the most advanced imaging equipment in a professional setting that is designed for your ease and comfort. BMA remains committed to providing outstanding patient care, combining excellence in clinical imaging with state-of-the-art technology. To learn more about the MRI machine or to schedule an appointment, call 223-0303 today. Belize Medical Associates, we do care.
Welcome back to Channel 7's Year in Review. The final numbers aren't in yet, but 2025 seemed to have been tracking a little below 2024 for the total number of murders. And while any decrease in numbers is welcome, the nature of some of these murders left us so shocked that, as a society, we're still grappling with it. In February and March, the whole society was shaken up with a series of cartel killings whose cruelty literally extended beyond the grave.
San Antonio villagers saw this body wrapped in a white sheet at the entrance to the village at daybreak. They called the police and the area was processed by the scenes of crime team and the doctor who found that it was the body of Raheem Usher. He had been shot fatally to the head. Raheem Usher had been missing since January 25th. He was last seen in Libertad village. His body was found elaborately wrapped in multiple layers of plastic, duct and electrical tape over his eyes, and handcuffs on his wrists. Most tellingly, all this was wrapped in a sheet on which his killers handwrote in 2 colors a message. It says, quote, "This is going to happen to those chapulines who continue to bring down planes with drugs," end quote. It then names 6 police officers attached to the Corozal formation. One of those officers is a relative of the deceased.
That information this morning, and that has been confirmed. Police visited the grave site this morning, and they saw the grave was disturbed. The bodies were exhumed, and a check of the body revealed that the skull is missing. So that's a matter the police are looking at this time.
Second young man?
The second young man, from what I was told, he was not dug up, but they had bored some hole on the tomb and had tried to lit it fire. That's what I was told about the other one.
Well, this is definitely a sign. What kind of sign does the police department take this?
Obviously, there is someone who is trying to send a message. I don't know how dead they wanted these men to be dead, but it's something we're looking at.
And there were other events which showed the far-reaching effect of the cartel into Belize's domestic affairs.
Which listed all the persons who received money, and it said that these officers, by name, had received $50,000 to facilitate this drug plane landing. Is that evidence that you all did not believe was credible, or you all have chosen to overlook?
Again, Jules, I don't think it is going to be fair for you to say that we overlooked anything. Like you rightly said, those officers were brought in, just as we would have done it any ordinary person. They went through the mills.
But tonight, this is really the question. Is this the image of a piece of paper found near the improvised airstrip in Graham Creek? Or was this image taken from this satellite phone, which was found in the custody of a Graham Creek villager? The Compol insists it was not from the phone.
No, that's not true. The names were not on no satellite phone.
And what about this paper? It has the names of 39 persons, all with Maya surnames. We are told an image of this was also found on a cell phone. They are reportedly collaborators in the plane landing effort. What was on the phone is pivotal because reports tell us the phone was wiped by someone in law enforcement before it was handed over to investigators.
This morning, CIB investigators could be seen entering Belize Healthcare Partners, where Nitin Buksani and his driver, Rene Arnold, are hospitalized for multiple gunshot injuries. At about 5:30 yesterday evening, they were eastbound in a Chevy Colorado pickup heading from Hattieville to Belize City when, at the speed bump, a gunman with a semi-automatic rifle stepped towards the vehicle and fired at least 20 shots. Buksani is a well-known figure in the Corozal Free Zone's tobacco trade, which is controlled by Mexican cartels, and he has been named recently in several ongoing disputes.
And from those grisly acts in February and March to October, when a man set his ex-wife and 2 children on fire, including his own son.
This is all that's left of the home that 35-year-old Angelita Magana and her common-law husband, Miguel Novello, had moved into 4 days earlier with Magana's 2 children. And with the fiery destruction of their home came the deaths of both Magana and her 6-year-old son, Tishan Godoy. Young Tishan was asleep in a room with his sister, 17-year-old Shadia Magana, when there was a loud noise, causing their mother to go check on them. That's when Magana's ex-common-law husband, Francis Godoy, barged into the room, poured gasoline on them, and lit them on fire. Chaos erupted along with the flames, which engulfed Godoy as well. He ran out of the house, a ball of fire in the night, leaving behind the devastation he caused, and collapsed on the ground in the front yard, his clothes completely burnt off. Novello awoke and tried to save his family, but he was unable to reach young Tishan and also received a worker who was sleeping outside and who also got burnt in the process. Escaped the fate of her mother and sibling, she's not out of the woods yet since she received burns on 90% of her body and is currently sedated and intubated at the KHMH. Godoy was also transported to the hospital, where he's also suffering from third-degree burns across his entire body.
She was afraid because he had already entered about 2 days earlier. He had already entered her home from the roof. He covered her mouth and asked her if she would get back together with him. But she said she couldn't because she saw it was impossible to have a life with him. So he asked her if she had anything with someone, if she was going to live with someone else, and she said yes. He said he will kill both of her kids.
Magana was working on a restraining order, but due to the complications at court, they were unable to get it. However, Novello said they were planning to go back today to get it, but it was too late, and Godoy carried out on his threats, killing even his own son and severely injuring his former stepdaughter.
And that wasn't the only shocking femicide in October. In another, a woman was killed, dismembered, folded up, and stuffed in a garbage canister on the street.
It's not why anyone would want to kill her, but how could they do it in such a way that leaves this grieving family unable to bury her with dignity? It's a heartbreaking reality for the relatives of Shanil Faber, the woman who was found dismembered and stuffed into a garbage drum at the corner of Amandala Drive on Saturday evening.
So right now we just want information on who really do it, because I know my sister never deserve that kind of killing there.
And gang violence continued to be a factor, and the tone was set early in the year with the killing of a gang leader that disrupted the sporting spirit of an evening football game.
Marian Josin's bleachers were filled on Friday night as football fans watched the BDFA semifinals, Reggae Boys versus Survivors. The first half was almost over when gunshots were fired and chaos erupted. When the smoke cleared, the body of 39-year-old Brandon Baptist was lying on the ground, and 3 more persons had been shot. Baptist was no stranger to the law, the media, or anyone living in the Bacalan area. Baptist had spent a chunk of his life in and out of court and prison. But his mother, who had always spoken up for him in the past, said she didn't expect his death since he had made concrete steps to change his life.
That is not a pretty feeling, man. Up to now, I feel, man, because I think that was very uncalled for.
And from inexplicable deaths that left us all confounded and deeply troubled because they could have been prevented if only more caution had been exercised. We start in February with one of the saddest stories we've ever reported on when autistic child, little Pablo Orellano, snuck out of his special needs school and virtually ran across the city to his death.
It's a sight that could easily make your heart drop to your stomach in a matter of seconds. 6-year-old Pablo Orellano was an autistic student here at Stella Maris Primary School, and somehow, during the lunch hour, his teachers lost track of him, and he managed to make his way out of the school compound and end up here in the hangar area, about a mile away. Police arrived at the scene around 1:30, followed by a group of distraught teachers from the school, and along with them, Pablo's grandmother, who was inconsolable. Not long after his father, Vidal Orellano, and another relative arrived. And that's when the reality of this tragedy began to sink in among them, as the Scenes of Crime unit removed his little body from the scene.
I went to hug him, but the police didn't want me to hug him, but I still went and I grabbed him, I hugged him, I laid on the ground with him. And I kissed my little boy, I tell him I love her. I miss her.
It follows him on a 2-mile trek where he never stops running, sometimes directly into the flow of traffic from Freetown Road, down Kelly Street, onto Princess Margaret Drive in front of BTL Park. Along the way, a couple passerbys tried to hold him, but they couldn't stop him. And Pablo's uncle has stopped at nothing to trace his nephew's steps. He gathered security video from businesses along his route, which led up to his final stop. New footage recovered today captured the exact moment that the little one turned from Princess Margaret Drive onto St. Edward Street, and still jogging, made his way down to the seawall, onto the ledge at 1:11 p.m. The child can then be seen floating in the water. A third and fourth individual then come into frame and stand up in front of the vehicle parked facing towards the sea. At 1:19, all 6 persons crowded around in front of the seawall, where one individual used a broom attempting to remove Pablo's body. As he pulls the child up out of the water, another individual arrives in a white vehicle. The man jumps out and goes straight up to the group and begins performing CPR on Pablo. But it was too late.
And from the sad ending of little Pablo's life to the triple tragedy of 3 young women, all tourists, who died from carbon monoxide poisoning at a San Pedro resort. The deaths that took more than a month to figure out.
On Friday, the housekeeping department went to the room to do the usual housekeeping, but when they knocked on the door, no one answered, and so they just left. We're trying to do as best as we can, including to see where they may have gone on Thursday before they went home. What, if anything, they consumed. All these things we're looking at, and again, the post-mortem will be looking at stomach content, again, with a view to determine if it was something that they digested. The police did a thorough search of the scene, along with the pathologists and scenes of crime. And there was nothing of substance that could have been found other than alcohol and some gummies.
But in the end, it wasn't any of those which caused these 3 young women's deaths.
There were no illicit drugs found in toxicology results. The only thing that was at high or significant levels were the carbon monoxide levels.
Yesterday, after receiving those results, the families of the victims issued a statement saying, quote, "We are incredibly heartened by the results of this investigation and grateful to those who completed it in a thorough and independent manner." While today's official finding puts to rest those initial reports, we hope that this will give authorities and law enforcement pause before they make similar suggestions during future investigations. Survivors such as our families deserve their best honest work. We received it today, but needed it throughout the investigative process. End quote. The hotel was forced to abruptly close on March 7th and reopened on March 19th. The closure was forced in part because of this TripAdvisor post from a guest who stayed at the hotel from February 17th to the 21st. They noted, quote, "serious safety concerns," saying, quote, "on February 18th, our carbon monoxide detector went off with levels above 400. Kautar, Imani, and Wafi arrived there around the very same time on February 19th. They were last seen alive on February 20th and most likely died that night from carbon monoxide poisoning with very high levels of exposure."
40% is typically the threshold where it becomes fatal. The victims had, one of them was about, I don't recall the exact numbers, but 60%. All of them had higher than 60%.
And there was more tragedy when 2 young girls fell into an uncovered septic tank and drowned in Bella Vista Village.
It's been an unbearable heartache for this mother, losing 2 children, both of her daughters, at the same time, riding bikes side by side, en route to their grandmother's home in the village. But they never arrived, and that's when the family began desperately searching for them after finding their bicycles close to this well, which was under construction.
Cuando yo llegué, me dijeron de que ellas estaban en el pozo, y yo me metí a sacarlas. Pero ya no pude hacer nada por ellas. Ya estaban muertas.
And in another tragic accident death, 1 man was killed and a whole village got rocked when a military relic exploded in the village of San Jose Palmar.
Residents of San Jose Palmar gathered with concern outside one-time area rep Dave Burgos' home on Saturday afternoon after the massive explosion of a bomb shook the ground and rattled roofs all across the village. 25-year-old Jose Valencia, a welder by trade, was hired to attach hooks to an Mk1 general-purpose medium-capacity aircraft bomb, left behind decades ago as a relic in a former military training ground on the New River. As he was welding, the bomb detonated, killing Valencia instantly and shattering windows in the home.
We thought it was a gas tank or something, but only my little brother and I were home. I told him, well, I just hope nobody got hurt, not knowing it was my brother. It was hear everything tremble, the house, the zinc, everything. It felt terrible. It was just a bad feeling, a terrible feeling.
This is the type of military bomb that killed 25-year-old Jose Valencia. But who's to blame for the bomb left behind that took his life? Burgos says it's the British.
British were the ones who left this all over the place, and people don't know. And these are all over the place. Homes, we're talking about these things are at home of many people have them.
Experts tell us those MK1 training bombs, like this one, painted blue, were loaded onto Harrier fighter jets and used for training.
First of all, these are dangerous goods. If you find them, if you have them in your possession, please call the Belize Defense Force so we can have the subject matter experts, the explosive ordnance disposal team, to go there and to safely disarm it and remove it from the location.
And we turn now from those tragic deaths to some more upbeat news of 2025, and we'll have that for you when we come back. Stay tuned.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Welcome to Mikado Textile Palace, where color and style come alive for every space in your home. From elegant fabrics to bold curtain prints, we have a selection like no other. Our friendly staff will guide you with personal, warm, and professional service to find the right color, feel, and style for your perfect match. Mikado, your #1 textile palace, 37 Albert Street. The right coloring, the right service, the right designs, the right mix for your home.
Out here, the sea is more than just water. It's memory, identity, and livelihood.
One of my most memorable catch was at the Reef Patch. It was completely covered with lobster. You couldn't even see the coral. It was completely covered with lobster. We caught about 400 or 500 pounds of lobster in one day.
These memories live in the hearts of Belize's fishers. But today, the story is changing.
If you fish one area over and over, you won't have anything. That's why today we have a big problem with fishing.
Despite increasing pressure on our oceans, fishers remain at the front lines, adapting, innovating, and calling for change.
The guys that are fishing, they know the tricks of the trade, so it's easy to hide, it's easy to get away, and it's just been happening for too many years.
Fisher stories are Belize's stories. Support fisher-led decision-making because their best catch can still lie ahead.
This year reminded us that our work is so much more than communication. It's connection. Every time we supported a school, a youth program, or a community event, we felt the heartbeat of Belize. We met students who just needed someone to believe in them, and families grateful for a supportive hand. We saw communities welcome SMART not just as a brand, but a trusted friend. For us, impact is created through service, presence, and purpose. As we move into a new year, we remain committed to empowering our communities and sharing stories that reflect how SMART strengthens the connections that matter most.
That commitment to people drives how we build our products. We focused on delivering real value and flexibility. We upgraded our postpaid plans to include social media data, keeping you connected to your favorite platforms without the extra cost. For the prepay family, we enhanced prepay plans to ensure you get more data and benefits from every single recharge. Flex bundles now better match real-time budgets, improving affordability. We introduced affordable Mexico data bundles to keep you connected while traveling. We are listening, adapting, and ensuring you get high-value connectivity you deserve.
Great plans need a great network. Smart strengthened its promise of bringing people together by investing heavily in expansion. We added new towers in key areas, bringing a stronger signal and improved service to more communities. Customers along the coastal road in Blancano, Mountain Pine Ridge, and Cristo Rey now enjoy more consistent coverage, making Smart a reliable companion for every journey. Smart launched its fiber network in Sartineja, bringing reliable high-speed connectivity for today's digital needs.
At Smart, we strive to reflect the energy of Belize in everything we do. From celebrating 20 years of excellent service to exciting collaborations, we've shared unforgettable times. We've delighted you with our biggest giveaways and deals ever, ads you could laugh and connect to, and launched a revamped website to make your digital experience faster and more engaging.
As we look forward to the new year, we remain committed to what matters to you most: the communities we serve, the connections we build, and the precious moments we all share. All these remind us of our true identity and steadfast purpose, bringing people together.
Start earning B-Bucks today. It's really quite easy. All you have to do is make a purchase at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember, B-Bucks is as good as cash. It's free money.
Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
What? Give me this one. Yeah, give me that. Pancake, I know eat that, Pepper, take that, thank you. Jo Marie, come on, give me some cranberry, thank you. Oh no! Oh my God! Thank you. Bruh.
Wait a minute.
Victory.
Jules, you need back surgery.
I don't. I'm good.
You
I'm
need
good. I'm
back
good.
surgery.
I'm good. I don't. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You don't need back surgery. You need to resign.
Resign. Resign.
Resign.
And there's breaking news. After a horse riding incident, Jules Vasquez decides that he needs back surgery and he's going to resign from Channel 7.
I hereby
Resign. 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 Resign.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
Welcome back to Channel 7's Year in Review. In 2025, Belize made some important strides for nationalism and national identity. One of the biggest, symbolically, was when the government took the decision to take the image of Queen Elizabeth off the currency notes and replace her with Belize's national heroes.
It's not a farewell to her, but instead a welcome to two of our national heroes, officially initiating the circulation of our new currency that was smoothly rolled out today from ATMs countrywide.
Both notes are going to be in circulation. They both remain legal tender. The central bank will be working with the various financial institutions to recall the notes, the old notes. However, until that is done, both the old and the new notes will remain legal tender and within circulation.
Central Bank project analyst Shanice Flowers says that this public education campaign has been ongoing.
So when the central bank officially launched our notes in January, we actually began our circulation event. So back in May, we hosted a Know Your Money session with various stakeholders of the business community. Today, of course, we're circulating the notes. So we're here at the public supermarket. We'll be visiting other supermarkets within the city. We do not anticipate anyone not accepting the new notes.
Belize also took a step for national self-determination when we bought Belize's 3 hydro dams from the Canadian-owned company Fortis and renamed it Hydro Belize to be fully owned by the government and Belizean investors.
So I could say yes, we are going to be the proud owners. We, all of us in this room, the proud owners of 100% of Fortis Belize, which is going to be named Hydro Belize, and 100% of BTL, of BEL shares. So we are going to be the true owners of our own destiny.
And from Hydro Belize to the Belize women who rule Central American Volleyball, when the under-23 female national volleyball team claimed their second Women's Central American Volleyball Championship in a row with a dominant 3-1 victory over Guatemala.
Claimed their second Women's Central American Volleyball Championship in a row with a dominant 3-1 victory against Guatemala. Here's that winning moment.
And another block there by Jimena. Mano a mano. In the court, gold medal, Team Belize. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about.
Belize secured 3 special awards, 2 of which went to Kaya Gordon for Best Attacker and Tournament MVP, along with Nissan Martinez, who was awarded Best Opposite in the tournament. A moment of true national pride for the home team as they now stand as the most dominant team in Central America for now and going forward.
And in other news of national importance, Belize got a new commissioner of police as the one-of-a-kind Chester Williams was replaced by Dr. Richard Rosado after a record of 6 years.
He took over the police department in January 2019.
And I know that the Belizean people hold me in high regards, and they are expecting a lot from me. I'm not going to say that I'm going to fulfill every expectations, but I can assure the Belizean people that under my administration, we will ensure we do our best.
He may have operated at times with impunity and more autonomy than his office allowed, but he also broke many records, including longest service in the commissioner's chair, and can claim one of the lowest murder rates in 2 decades. He can also claim to be the most frequently interviewed public official in the last 6 years, making himself a model of public accountability, even when he used that platform to tell us off.
You know or don't know, Jules, you're going to say that because you strive on negativity. Okay? That's what you feed on.
Sir, I thrive on facts. If you have not, tell me how you feel. I don't feel him under this, I don't feel, well, you don't feel that.
If negativity were to be done with tomorrow, you dead.
I really and truly will adapt what my good mother told me, not to tell a cow good morning.
And now that he's leaving the office after a record run, he is a man keenly aware of and not ashamed to self-promote his own history.
I'm not going to say that I am the best, but I can say to you that since I became the Commissioner of Police, I have worked tirelessly and you know this, to guide my officers, work with the public with a view to reduce crime.
She handed it to Anthony Richard Rosado in this elaborate ceremony. Rosado now takes command of nearly 3,000 police officers and is a sharp contrast in personality and style to his brash and outgoing predecessor, who held the post for a modern record of 6 years and 4 months.
Certainly, as I said before, is a remarkable occasion and a historic moment in the history of the Belize Police Department.
Dr. Rosado, one of our foremost tasks will be to continue to foster unity within the Belize Police Department. We must break down any silos and encourage cross-departmental collaboration and ensure that every officer feels valued and empowered in their respective roles.
And while Rosado has had a very tough go of it in his first year, much of that has to do with a no-nonsense media that's building a reputation of strong investigative reporting. These two stories both raised eyebrows, especially the nurse who got a contract to paint City Hall.
Kelsey Gillett is a registered nurse by profession, one in which her business card and Facebook page would indicate she offers an array of services across multiple health facilities. But apparently, she is also a contractor who can paint very large buildings.
Well, the painting, the City Hall requires a sort of maintenance that we prefer to outsource. It's a pretty small cost.
Not so small at all. Documents obtained by 7 News shows that it is $142,000 to paint the interior of City Hall. Along with another is $45,000 to do the same at the traffic department. $250,000 and contracts awarded to an individual, but it was never put out to tender. And according to these minutes, it didn't even go to the council caucus. We found no mention of it any of the minutes this year. Was it put out to tender?
No, not that small amount. If I would put out a contract for 10, 20,000 for painting a building or 30 to 40,000, I'm not quite clear on what the question is alluding to, but the point is that for a small contract size.
So how much was the contract?
I would believe it's a little bit over 100,000, I would believe.
Well, over 100,000, cumulatively almost 200,000.
There's a lot of elevation, and so it requires a lot of expertise in that area.
So much expertise, they gave it to a nurse.
And now from that to the story of the police giving out fake JanSport bags in a back-to-school effort. It turned out to be one of the biggest school bag drives ever, and Channel 7 was there for it.
What we observe is that those are not the original JanSport bags.
So those are not, are fake?
Well, yes.
The social media backlash was immediate and intense. It came at A&R like a swarm. Attacks on the company and 7 News filled the comments feed, and the swarm even suggested a boycott of A&R, among other actions. They also sent messages directly to A&R, urging them to make this right. And then came the video messages.
E and R. And tough to know.
It's not about fake. The kids, they're copy. They feel really glad for this bag. So guys, I got bag here. To give today. I got bag to give you tomorrow. So you call me, and I'll give you. So call me, and I get it, guys.
Into this perilous breach stepped businessman Said Perdomo from Car Guys with a post that may have saved A&R.
I see the two sides of it. Gambis, to me, does no wrong. He give poor people, they help people. I mean, you can't argue that. When you're a picnic and you smart, you don't know what the difference between fake and real. You just you are happy, and worse if you're not in a financial position, you are one step closer to going to school. As a parent, you happy. Your school bag there, 50% of your need. I put out the half of it on Facebook, and even calculate how much a 250 bag when I realize I close to 15,000. So I mean, I put it out there, and I believe people could benefit.
And from there, we reached out to A&R owner Aldo Urbina, who agreed to match Perdomo.
And when we come back after our final break, we'll revisit some of the most touching stories of the year. Stay tuned to Channel 7 Year in Review.
Belize Medical Associates is now equipped with the only advanced MRI machine in the country. The machine uses a powerful magnetic field, radio waves, and a computer to produce detailed pictures of the body's internal structures that are clearer, more detailed, and more likely to identify and accurately characterize diseases than other imaging methods. It is used to evaluate the body for a variety of conditions, particularly of the brain and spinal cord, but can be used for other conditions such as tumors and diseases of the liver, heart, and bowel. It may also be used to monitor an unborn child in the womb. MRI is non-invasive and does not use ionizing radiation. This means that you no longer have to travel abroad. You now have access to the most advanced imaging equipment in a professional setting that is designed for your ease and comfort. BMA remains committed to providing outstanding patient care, combining excellence in clinical imaging with state-of-the-art technology. To learn more about the MRI machine or to schedule an appointment, call 223-0303 today. Belize Medical Associates, we do care.
Delta Warehouse, one store, endless styles. Everything you need, one store away. Visit Delta Warehouse at number 91 Albert Street or message us on WhatsApp 612-2222.
Around this time, everybody know Belizeans rum and party the best friend. But listen to me, your vehicle is not drunk proof. So make Terrence for Transport explain to you how you can be safe on the road during the holidays. Guess what? The first thing what drunk person will try to tell you, that they're not drunk. But even if the vehicle sober, you can't say straight for you, Mr. Man, Madam Lady. This is how alcohol affect you while you try drive. First of all, sorry, you listen to me, right? Okay, alcohol will slow down your reaction time. Then alcohol will mess with your judgment for distance. And if you drunk and you drive, your vehicle now will be the thing for save you, know. Your vehicle will put your life in danger. And Terrence and the team that transport now, I nobody put their life in danger. So if we catch you to drink and drive, we will charge you. And I will take away your license for you and make you think about your decisions. And if you feel like hard ears pick me and still do it again, okay, you will do it again, Mr. Snowman. I will send you the back, and now I make them give you back your license. You hear? The safest vehicle that you could drive is the one where you not drive drunk. All right? I know the same make you not go out and go have fun, you know. And the same make you have a designated driver, call a friend, or even get a taxi. So if you don't drink, please don't drive, because your vehicles could always be replaced, but your life cannot.
Drive safe, drive sober, save lives. This message was sponsored by the Ministry of Constitution and Religious Affairs, Indigenous Affairs and Transportation, Belize Automobile Touring Association, and Universal Hardware.
What? Give me this one. Yeah, give me that. Cake, I know eat that, Pepper, take that, thank you. Jo Marie, come on, give me some cranberry, thank you.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Thank you.
Bruh.
Wait a minute.
Victory.
Jules, you need back surgery.
I don't. I'm good.
You
I'm
need
good. I'm
back
good.
surgery.
I'm good. I don't. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
You don't need back surgery. You need to resign.
Resign. Resign. Resign.
And there's breaking news. After a horse riding incident, Jules Vasquez decides that he needs back surgery and he's going to resign from Channel 7.
I hereby
Resign. 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 Resign.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
B-Bucks can be transferred to and from your B-Bucks accounts. It's fast, easy, and convenient.
Download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy.
B-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
The horse called Wani. He was the victim of an act of extreme cruelty in April. So cruel, many thought he would not live. But where there's a Wani, there's a way. And in November, we visited as he was brought back to his home off Faubers Road after a long rehab.
The bond between a boy and his horse was evident today after Reimer's feed mill fulfilled their promise of restoring Wani to a picture of health. Believe this healthy horse is the same one we showed you months ago, suffering from multiple chop wounds. And even his owner was amazed at his recovery.
I want to cry, but I don't swallow it in.
And according to him, even Wani wanted to shed a tear. Reimer's vet technician Emir Zuniga was the miracle worker that got this horse healthy from a near-death injury.
When we first got him, we definitely knew it was going to be a very big project. It was a very big wound, very deep wound.
But healing the horse's mental wounds were also important after this vicious act of cruelty.
So at the beginning, I would say it was definitely pretty rough for him. But as the time went by and the treatments continued, and he got much more better. Yeah, you could tell that he was happier and he perked up a lot.
They also wanted to make sure that when he returned, the horse had a safe place to stay, so they built him a stable with the help of a few donors who pitched in for the cause.
I'm telling how we need a stable, because I never build it right. So they must reach out to me and tell me how they build a stable for Wani.
So we had actually decided, okay, we're gonna build a stable that could be inside the owner's house, and we had reached out to businesses to see if they can assist in any way.
And today, as Wani gamely hopped out of his trailer, he ambled regally into his new home, where there was a bundle of fresh hay waiting for him, a new and happy home, and hopefully also safe from harm.
And from the return of Wani to 17-year-old Kyron Green, a young man left paralyzed after being hit by a stray bullet. His happiness was his horse, which got electrocuted, and then one of our viewers got him another.
This is the sad scene that unfolded this afternoon at the far end of Neil Penn Road's extension. A motionless horse folded up against a fence. He had been electrocuted by electric wires coming into contact with the fence and conducting electricity. The horse belonged to a disabled teenager in the neighborhood. It was his pride and joy and his livelihood. But this tragic outcome stems from a problem these residents have been dealing with for years. Residents who can't get a legal connection to electricity, having to steal power from the main, leading to tenuous connections and very dangerous exposed wiring.
Come on, we need help. It's unfortunate that our house, yes, and not just one house, like a family member to we, because that the house is Kyron Green. You understand? That try to take care of his house. You don't know how he broke down when he see that happen to his house.
Kyron Green, a victim of gun violence, which left him paralyzed in 2019, procured feed and supplies to care for his horses by selling their manure. His mother says it was a major investment for them, and it was something her son enjoyed doing in hopes of making a living by raising and selling horses. But thanks to an anonymous donor and the Boys Country Club, Kyron's hope and passion was rekindled once again when this trailer pulled up outside his home this afternoon with a fine and fit 4-year-old gelding quarter horse.
I just thank the God, because without God this don't happen. And I thank the Boys Club for reach out to me and offer me with a horse. And I just want everything go good. I just want to thank the Boys Club for offering me this horse, yeah. And I know I do everything I can to take care of her too. I don't know what, but I got my friend there around me, I think. Go help me to clean out the stable, I think. So I just want to say thanks to the Boys Club.
This one comes complete with a saddle. And today that meant that with the help of his family, he could actually ride the horse.
Our goal in life is to take young men that have been unfortunate, that don't really have it all together at home. And our goal is to try to teach them to become responsible, to teach them to become productive members of society. When all the way that I was coming here today, it was the thing that kept coming to my mind was hope. You understand that everyone in this life needs a reason to go on.
And another memorable mammal is Grace the Tapir. We visited her in May when she was racking up the TikTok views.
This is Grace, the Belize Zoo's newest tapir. She's only about 2 months old, but already she's the star of Tapir Town. And with her rise to fame, the zoo is hoping that she'll be the next ambassador.
And at the moment, Grace is 78 pounds. When we got her, she was around 17 pounds. So she's 9 weeks now, and she's growing really fast. And the public is always asking, where is Grace? They want to see Grace. The kids especially, they want to see Grace.
Oh, Mama, car. Gracie, Gracie.
Look at it.
Wow, look beautiful.
Thanks to social media, the public is well aware of her Grace growing with us.
The public can be a part of her journey by lending their support.
We have her feeding at 1 p.m. and there's also a feeding at 4:30 p.m. And guests can leave a donation of $25 and they will go behind the scenes with the zookeeper, very exclusive, and they will witness and how we feed Grace, and they can actually take pictures really close with her.
And if you're a fan, you can also get Grace merch from the gift shop.
And while those stories gave us some hope, in 2025, others left us deeply troubled, like when they arrested our neighbor, young entrepreneur and funeral home owner, Andrew Munnings, for a tax debt.
They came in while I was with a family. I have been on tomorrow as well while I was with a family, and they insisted we come to court after 2:30 today. No problem, I comply. I came to the court and everything, and they're saying that they either want half or the full thing, or I go up to prison for 6 weeks and everything. So that's where we are at the moment, and that is the judgment.
How much money are we talking about?
We are talking close to $100,000 they want right now and everything. I am already in custody. I will be placed in cell block and everything. and then I am going up to Hattieville prison as we speak. If it is that I had 100,000 for us to make this go away, I would have easily just pay that off.
My freedom right now is certainly because of God, legal advice, and of course the Belizean people and many people who are not here in Belize. So this interview is just to say thank you so much. Sir, what comes after this, I'm going to take a shower. I am going to put some type of markup on my head because this wasn't voluntary at all. And I'm going to go home and hug my daughter.
And while Munnings got a shaved head in prison, Belize's soldiers had to hold the line on the SARS dune, which becomes very hard in September with escalating Guatemalan aggression.
Lo bajan o lo bajamos nosotros, amablemente. Entre hombres se queda eso, sí. No puede bajar. ¿Qué? Nunca ponen bandera ahí. Que no te pertenece.
Las aguas del río Sarzún no están en litigio. Son parte de las aguas interiores de Guatemala. Regresen a su apostadero. Las aguas del río Sarzún no están en litigio. Regresen a su apostadero. Las aguas del río Sarzún son parte de las aguas interiores de Guatemala.
Solicitamos que
no
respeten
están
nuestra
en
soberanía
litigio
nacional
en ningún lugar.
Y la integridad
Regresen
territorial
a
de
su
Belice.
apostadero.
Por favor, mantenga una distancia segura y evite cualquier acción
Las
provocativa
aguas del río Sarzún
que pueda
son parte
intensificar
de
las
las aguas
tensiones.
interiores de Guatemala.
Le invitamos
No
a realizar
están en
patrullajes
litigio.
de rutina,
Regrese
pero le pedimos
a su
amablemente
apostadero.
que lo haga dentro de los límites del derecho internacional y la integridad territorial de Belice.
And back in Belize, Boston villagers were fighting for their territory as loggers had clear-cut their village lands. Here's what we saw when we visited in August.
This morning, Chairman of Boston Village, Nikolai Alvarado, stood in a clearing amongst over 100 logs of all sizes and types that he says had been cut without a permit from within his village boundary.
Well, they see a lot of illegal logs that have been taken out of Boston, right? And permits were given for Lucky Strike, and they use it as an advantage to get into the Sauk Creek Estate through Boston Village. But they tried it under the wrong chairman watch.
Yesterday, he confronted the Mennonite logger leading the extraction.
I said, you're out of the GPS. I said, you guys think you're smart. You do this every year, right? Every year they do it to get into Sauk Creek Estate. But this year it's not going to happen.
And to make sure it didn't, Chairman Alvarado went for the police, which led to a surprising outcome.
3 police came. The truck was already inside the road, loaded, ready to go. The police told them, cease and desist. Mennonites jump on the phone, made a call to somebody in Orange Walk, start talking in German, after which a person in English answered the phone. So he handed the phone just like this to the police officer. And the name, Minister Mai, is on the phone. I said, what? Minister Mai, I didn't have any surprise because he's an agriculture minister, so I didn't have any surprise. But what surprised me was who talked when they handed the officer to the phone. The guy on the phone said, the officer, yes, this is officer such and such. The person on the phone said, yes, this is Karim Musa. I said, what? Karim Musa? Why is he getting involved with this?
Musa told us he gave no stand-down directive. He says it is a civil dispute which the police has no part in settling. That, he says, is a matter for the forestry department. Jose Mai told us that he got a call from a constituent who has the logging license, and that he happened to be with the minister who is on a national tour of police stations and simply handed him the phone. Whatever the case, the police did come today, and so did the forestry department.
Well, the only reason why the authorities actually out here today, because we mentioned we call Jules Vasquez. You know, when they say Jules, everybody jump. I mean, they dance and all, right? Because me personally call all of them. They said, Mr. Armstrong, they send this one, that one every time, call nobody show up, I call the hotline. This thing happened for like over a month now.
Chairman Alvarado says he too had been following up repeatedly with forestry.
The thing is, for we kids, look at the logs, right? We not have this for we kids again. You can't. The animals, you can't. These guys cleared almost over 1,000 trees, you know.
Well, the minister says it's not him.
Did you help him get his license?
Absolutely not.
You have to hurt your heart as well to know that they just they clear cut the whole forest like this.
Yeah, that's true, because then down the line, so we kids not got nothing, you know. Yeah. So we try to protect the help make we kids down the line, everybody, children, no? The next generation could have something.
In other logging news, we pursued a story where a new logging company had an interest in the western hardwoods of the Pine Ridge.
The Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve is an area of mystifying beauty. Its towering pines, majestic waterfalls, and many running waterways are a national treasure. But while nature lovers may rush to it, timber companies also seek to exploit the deep forest. This memo from the Chief Forest Officer Wilbur Sabido covers an assessment of the Sustainable Forest Management License proposal by a furniture company named Belize Woodmark Designs Limited. On its website, the company boasts that its wood is sourced sustainably from the Mountain Pine Ridge area. But with this proposal to extract timber across 5,646 acres of the western hardwoods area in the Mountain Pine Ridge, Chief Sabido says it's not sustainable or advisable. Chief Sabido makes it plain, quote, the Forest Department does not recommend the issuance of the western hardwoods for commercial logging purposes, logging activities, even under a strict sustainable forest management regime, will be short-term gain with long-term impacts to a sensitive and important forest ecosystem. Signed and stamped by the head of the Forest Department, and you might think that such a resounding, clearly reasoned no would be the end of that, but not so. Our sources say the license is being prepared. Today, the minister made it clear, at least, that it's on the table.
The license has not been granted. It is being reviewed by the Department of the Forest Department.
And from hardwoods to what the Christian right calls hard drugs, they fought against the referendum for legalization of marijuana.
Of the votes counted for yes, a total of 176, which represents 20.54%. The votes counted for no, 678, which is 79.11%. And rejected ballots were 3, which is 0.35%. I further certify that the results show that majority of the voters in Kekaka Village has voted against the proposition that the government of Belize should pass legislation to create a responsible, regulated, and taxable legal cannabis industry on the island of Kekaka, with a portion of the revenue going directly for the benefit of Kekaka and its residents.
Those are the cheers of the Hope Not Dope team in Kekaka after they won by a landslide in yesterday's referendum.
Kekaka deserves proper drainage,
yes, sir.
Yes. Proper drainage system, and not from weed money, from tourism money. That promise the island taxes from money that is non-existent. That's right. Promise the island from tourism money.
It was a no, and it's going to be a no, and I hope that after today, everybody continues to unite as one people and fight for the island as we continue growing together.
This is a tough fight, right? We knew that what we were up against, and despite that though, we know that we have very resilient people here.
I need to thank every single one again. You, Kekaka, you spoke out. It is a resounding no. And I thank every single member that came, resident voter that came out to cast your vote.
I live here 18 years, and this victory, I want to dedicate it to God. Please, big noise, please.
And in November, exactly 5 years after the PUP were swept into office, the Prime Minister made a cabinet shuffle. And then, in short order, he had to do another after his minister got in hot water.
Next month, November, is going to be 5 years that we've been really in government. I believe that there's always room for improvement.
And now, on the 11th day of November, we know what the PM sees as improvement. There are 2 ministers who got major downgrades and 2 who got major upgrades in this shuffle. First, Karim Musa gets a major downgrade. The Minister of Home Affairs since 2020 now loses that large, powerful, and project-heavy ministry and takes over a portfolio with 2 small ministries to his brother, Henry Charles Usher, who gets a significant upgrade, taking over a ministry critical to national life. That's Home Affairs. And to add to that, he gets the Ministry of Enterprise, Hosea Mai, who the Prime Minister may have concluded had run things too hot. At the Free Zone, Corozal in particular, evidenced by this attempted execution of a leading Free Zone operator last week. To save face for losing that Enterprise Ministry, Mai takes over New Growth Industries, which again is a minor addition to his remaining agriculture portfolio. Second to Musa, the next biggest loser is Oscar Requena, who loses the Ministry of Education, which was assigned to him just 8 months ago. He apparently performed so poorly that the PM took it back and had Requena revert to the ministry he had before March, Rural Transformation, Local Government, and Community Development. A demotion, a downgrade, and likely a humiliation. Francis Fonseca again emerges as a super minister. He takes back education, which he had happily surrendered 7 months ago, and adds it to his existing and already loaded portfolio of foreign affairs, foreign trade, culture, science, and technology. Florencio Marin Jr., who is like a cabinet journeyman, changes portfolios again for the second time in 8 months, taking over the public service and disaster risk management from Usher, which is more or less a lateral move. Hosea Mai has always been by John Briceño's side, from way before that day back in September 2017, when those 2 alone started a shutdown of the Tower Hill Bridge and stood shoulder to shoulder, actually wrapped arm in arm to battle the police and the tear gas. To March of 2020, when Mai stood directly behind the then leader of the opposition, Briceño, when they walked out on the budget presentation, the deputy leader for the North always had Briceño's back. And in February of this year, when Briceño called the election, there he was, Mai looking slightly more spiffy and svelte, but always right behind Briceño. Except on Tuesday of this week, when Briceño didn't have his favorite wingman. Mai was missing, as he was out of cabinet and out of commission, supposedly with a bad back.
Minister Mai has a farm, and one time he came to cabinet and saying that he was riding his horse and he fell off. It's over a year ago, and many of us bantering about it, teasing him, not realizing that he was seriously hurt, both his lower back and his shoulder. And I know he was telling us that he will have to be having surgery, probably going to Guatemala for surgery. So he felt it was best to take a leave of absence whilst he take that operation and go through the recovery process.
It's the mistruth that spawned 1,000 memes. The Prime Minister widely mocked for mouthing such an obvious and transparent falsehood. But how to describe the faces of those ministers behind him when the PM mouthed the big fib, far ways off from the defiance of 2020? No more supportive nods, no firm brow of collected conviction. In 2025, we see tepid smiles and the knowing, tight-lipped looks of those who sense it only goes downhill from here.
And we expect the political intrigues and the political pressure to continue in 2026. For sure, it will be an interesting year, but it will be hard to top 2025, a year of ballots, battles, and betrayals. Thanks for joining us. This has been Channel 7's 2025 Year in Review. I am Miriam Abdul-Kawi, and we hope you enjoyed this look back, and we look forward to being on the front line for you in 2026.